What's up, Slackers? Happy Friday! It's past, what? I don't know, past 5:30 on the East Coast. That's when all the jobs are done. It's kind of a holiday weekend. I don't know. What's going on? We're going to test the stream, see how it's going. Make sure nothing's dropping. Let's just see how the audio is. So I'm just going to sit here and chill a little bit and wait for all you slackers. See what you're doing. What's going on? Let's see. A bunch of comments about the AMD Intel war. Oh, kind of funny. I'm hearing a lot of different things all over the internet. It's kind of funny to hear fanboys of each side. I'm a performance fanboy, not an Intel or AMD fanboy. But so what's going on, slackers? Just sitting here. Let me know audio's all good and everything's working all right. Hopefully this time and not a bunch of stuff. Yes, I raised the bitrate to 10K. Does it sound good now? Does it look much better than it was before? I've been playing all week when I get some time from not working, just trying to figure out, like, make sure the stream's good. Yeah, I figure the audio's a little loud, like low, but I yell a lot, so I figured that's good enough, if you know what I'm saying. Intel lost. Frosty Bear. They did not lose. So what's going on? Let's see. I gotta do my own work on the forums here, or whatever. Oh, so I won't go LN2. I will eventually go LN2. Just, I actually had to wait for liquid nitrogen to come today. So I basically have 320 liters of goodness. So it's in the garage. Basically what I think tomorrow we'll end up setting up basically an installation stream so I can insulate this pretty little MSI creator, you know, the TRX 40. So I might just take it apart tomorrow and maybe just insulate it on stream. We're gonna use something different this time. I've been pretty unhappy with any type of Vaseline stuff, and even the spray cans tend to get all over it. For motherboards, I used to use this a lot. It's called liquid electrical tape. So what I'll do is I'll put it in a syringe and then put it on the little nooks and crannies. But I don't want to make a mess. I kind of want to do it right. So audio seems fine, looks good. How's the F clock on the higher core? See, about time. Now we're just only talking about computers and not actually my stream sucking at some point. So, oh, what's going on? Let's answer some questions. Get ready before we get started. What is this? Thank you. Yell all you want. Yes, I yell all the time anyway, whether you like it or not. Watching a little Gold Rush, token some bowls, and watching the AMD stream. Sounds like fun. Hope it's legal. Oh, what's the cock rate on the road? Let's see, what do we got here? My W3175 versus my 3970 tends to disagree. My 7980 got slapped in the face for the same price. My W135 versus my 3970. So what disagrees? Like, I totally missed the point there. Anyways, so what's going on? Are you chilled water at this moment? No, I'm just chilling. No, it's just a 480 Raditz. Save the box so that way I don't forget. So Thermaltake was nice enough to send me over the Pacific CL480, and we got about 8 fans on there. Nothing crazy, maybe like 3,000 RPM fans. So we got that. That's underneath. I'm not going to show it to you. You can just think with your imagination how badass it is, because you know I'm doing it, so it must be badass. So while I get in the mood to ready to get started, so what else is going on? Oh, Mr. 3950X. Ooh, thinking about 3950X. Sorry, I just got really excited. I've been wanting that. We got this little pretty little thing over here. I finally got one. My nice 3950X. I got my own 16 core. And what's really cool, I got something to go against it. Let's see, I think it's this one. I think that's it. Maybe, maybe not. Nope, this is it. I got too many chips to count. So we got this combination going up next after we do these ones. Hopefully we get that before the new year, but no promises. But we got a nice 10980 XE right here, fresh from Intel. And then we got the nice 3950X. So it's going to be fun to test to see which one overclocks better, if you know what I'm saying. We'll go over on air, water, all that good stuff. Oh, what else we got here? Joe had it. You guys are killing me. All right. So yeah, it's 8 fans on there. I didn't want to go too crazy. I wanted to be more realistic than anything. So I figured going towards and doing like a push-pull setup on a 480 is kind of legit. I don't know. I have something in the works that's going to be quite crazy that we'll use for testing the water stuff. So, but that's going to be sometime in beginning of next year. I don't want to break out with all the goodness that's going on. So the other thing is I will be at CES this year. Everything's confirmed. I got my hotel all booked. My flight's all booked, and we're ready to go to Vegas, baby. Vegas. All right, so what do we got here? I really don't like how stock settings end up working under load. It's like to make sure to, yeah. No, it's true. Why run anything stock? Stock's boring. All right, let's see. Lucky bastard, you're just drowning in RYZEN 3000 gear. Yes, I have a 3700X and 3900X that I have to fix. That's probably going to be a video next week. If I don't break it, and maybe I'll just fix it again. Just how it works. Oh, let's see. I got 4x8 CL14 at 38 CL16. Awesome, broski. Hot rods were considered hot in the 1950s. Today's it's CPUs. Isn't that the truth? I remember when I fell in love with tech. I was actually majorly in the cars at the time, and I was like, oh man, you could do so much with, and you don't need all the different tools. But yeah, what's going on? All right. Let's see, we actually had someone donate some cash. There we go. Stig Eric Brood, I guess? What's going on? Yes, you are a slacker, my friend. Thanks for the 20. Always appreciative. Don't put your beer on fire. Dude, what fun is that? We always got torches for fires, right? See, unlike Steve, gotta love fire. I always have it on demand. You never know when you're just gonna burn the shit out of something. Just how it is. All right, so hey, what's up, Andreas? What's going on, broski? All right, I think we're about to get started. So I was playing around a little bit. So we have a little bit of a different setup, I guess you can say. So we switched out the thermal takes. Now, nothing wrong with thermal take. The problem is I have those modules and I just got them. So I haven't got a chance to go through each module to see how good it is. So it's kind of unfair for me to put them in here and judge them how they're going to be. So I ended up switching them out with my Trident Z's, my G-Skill Trident Z Royals. Now, these are kind of I call them the badass bin. So when we go in every year and do the G-Skill competition, we go through a shit ton of memory. Basically, we go and for the overclockers, we want to make sure they have good overclocking memory, and then that way when they can't complain, number one. But number two is that they can do some cool clocks and stuff in live, basically. So, but we go through a bunch of modules every year, and these are like 4 really good ones. So I figured the best way to test is with memory that I know will do very well. So what we're going to end up doing with the Thermaltake memory, though, I'm going to end up going through and we're going to bin all of them. So I'm basically going to show you how to bin memory, or at least how I do it. So that stay tuned for that. That's going to be something that's going to be within the next couple of weeks. We're going to go on like a video power tour now that I technically am on vacation. It's kind of cool. I feel like I haven't had a vacation in forever. So what am I going to do on my vacation? I'm going to go hang out with you fine folks. So let's see. So yeah, these are G-Skill Royals. I want to say these are the gold ones because they're pretty gold. And I think they're technically a 4000 kit if you look at the XMP profile. But these are kind of really badass. They will do like 1211, 4200. on an Intel setup. I have not really tested them that well on the AMD setup, so I don't know what they're really going to do. So I haven't really got to test too much, but that's why we have a stream. We can test together. All right. It says camera making me. Dude, well, how can somebody not deal? I mean, it's just moving ever so slightly. I mean, I can slow it down a little bit, but it's at basically 10% already. Oh, what are we gonna do? The sweet spot is different. You should check the RAM speed articles for the different gens. Also, I don't even know what you're talking about. What's the main difference between tuning memory RYZEN? Well, RYZEN 3 is way better than 2. They had a lot of bunch of issues going on with the. We just won't even talk about 2. The 3 series. If you want to tune and play with memory, do that with the 3 series now. So, Paul the bearded one down and hang out, drink, meat, and bench. That's what I'm doing. Sounds like a plan, broski. All right, what's going on? Rock and roll 00. All right, I think we're gonna get to the overclocking. I think we've hit that point. It looks like the stream's doing well. We're not having any dropped frames yet, so YouTube can. Well, I better knock on some wood or something. Because you know it's going to be an issue. YouTube wants to screw me some way or another. But anyway, yes, so we're going to do the power button. Because you guys are getting sensitive. Don't be sensitive. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. We're going to overclock. So, if you noticed, another difference that I have is this little thing right here. So, I don't know if you guys know, you ever hear of Johnny Guru? You know, the guy that basically does all the PSU reviews. To me, he's a legend in my book. He's basically like the power supply legend. So this one was given to me by him. This is a Corsair AX1200i, but this is a special one. This is when this came out before everybody else's came out. So this is technically pretty much the first AX1600i there is. So I wanted to. It's not that I had a problem with the Seasonic 1300 Prime, but I know we're gonna end up pushing the power. I noticed we were pushing about over 700 the other night, so I figured it's time to. If we're gonna put it on LN2, that might go past the efficiency point of the other power supply. So I wanted to get that extra 300 watts of goodness, and there's no better power supply than this one. This one I've broken a couple records with, some big ones like Vantage, dual world record Vantage, and also single card Vantage, but that was a couple years back. So, but she's been in hiding, and we're gonna use her on TR, so that'll be awesome. But if you guys don't know who that is, his name is John Guru. Johnny Guru, he's the legend, man. So this is actually personally from him. So you gotta love that slacker. He's a good man. Unfortunately, he's not gonna be at CES, which is kind of a bummer. So, but anyway, how long a beard do I need to squeeze more than 10%? Dude, if you don't have a beard this long, you can't squeeze anything at a rim. Hate to break it to you. Sucks. Like button engaged. Hit like, you dirty slackers. Alright, so we're starting to fill up now. Now we can get into the OC. So I ended up putting a fan here. I noticed the last time we ran 2, we're starting to hit some temp issues. So basically, I'm going to put a small fan here. That way, just to have some air flowing through. Because it got pretty hot last time. So we want to make sure we got to keep that cool. So you got to figure how much wattage we're pushing. And we're going to be loading it. We need to make sure it's cool, too. So, and I think basically that's it. We're using a Thermaltake TR40X. I don't even remember the name of it. Oh, yeah, the Pacific W6. Great block. Have no issues or complaints with it. So far, it's actually worked pretty well. So, but anyways, let's hit the power already, right? So, so we're gonna go up to the BIOS. Let's wait for it to boot up before I switch it over. I have a baby beard. It's okay, bro. As long as you try. You could be worse. You could be like Paul and shave yours. Mad at you, Paul. Hurt my feelings. Just saying. Are you putting pot on CPU? I'm not even sure what that means. Hopefully not some illegal stuff. But anyway, let's go over and let's show the screen and me. There we go. How pretty is that? It says it only takes 4 years to get a good beard. Doesn't take much effort. Yeah, you gotta have patience. I think that if you're gonna have a big ass beard, you gotta have patience because you get your itchy moments. You have a lot of issues, but hey, what are you gonna do? Oh, I guess I kind of let the cat out of the bag. I was testing a little bit, not too much, but let's just save this one. All right, so notice we are at two things. So I was just playing with DDR. Noticed a couple things. I probably won't go into details on that, but let's just do this. Let's load. I'm gonna load this one up real quick. Kind of forgot what it is, so let's reboot real quick into that. Have you ever heard of Optimus water blocks for TRX? No, no idea. Are they good? No idea. All right, push it to the limit. Push it to the red line. The bearded one downing. How's it goes? And the Strix TR40E gaming for 3970X. I have no idea about the Rogue Strix. I haven't tried any Asus board, to be honest. I have the Impact behind me. It's actually right there. I don't know if you guys can see right here. But I haven't tested it yet, so who knows? I've been only basically working with the MSI boards for AMD this year. I can't say that I have a problem with them. They've done very well for me each time. So we're using the Creator from MSI, the TRX 40 now. So far, it's a great board, no issues. Running good. MEM seems to clock very well. CPU tends to clock really well. Same BIOS is pretty much the godlike. So far, no issue with that. Well, let's start going in and playing a little bit. I was playing around a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. Now, I found a couple things. For some reason, my CPU is not liking Infinity Fabric. So, when it was easy for me to, on the 3700X and the 3900X, on the MSI Godlike, I could basically boot 1900 every time. But for some reason, I can't even get past the post screen. So what that means is basically when I set 1900, when it reboots and goes through, it locks. Basically, it gets stuck on 90, and then it freezes. And then I have to basically reset the BIOS and then go start all over again. So I want to save that because that's kind of ugly on the stream. I mean, who wants to do that on stream, right? So, what was I going to say? So I ended up playing with it, and then I ended up knocking it down a little bit. So you can see it in here. It's the 1867. But I've even found that this is basically 1867 is basically still not stable. So what we're going to have to do is go down one more. So 1833 seems to be like rock on this one. Absolutely nice. So we're going to end up keeping about 1833. I noticed that even when I was playing around, having the Infinity Fabric clock and the MEM clock on a 1-1 relationship, when I changed them, it seemed like it automatically did it. So it almost seems like this is pretty much useless. So I've tried to hard code it like this, and I didn't notice much of a difference. So what do we got here? Stig Eric, is 1.3 PLLC very voltage dangerous on my 9900 KS? PLLOC, I don't remember which one it is. What board do you have? You'd have to tell me what board it is before I'd even tell you. I want to say that it sounds like an ASRock board. So what's up with the CPU name? Yeah, I think it's because it's a ES processor. So it is a 3970. Don't get me wrong, but is that XMP profile 4.8? No. Actually, it shouldn't be. Hold on, let me see something here. So we guess we can do that. I was actually talking to a bunch of buddies that were actually putting this on liquid nitrogen too. And they were telling me a bunch of interesting things, because obviously what you're going to do on water is basically not what you're going to do on liquid nitrogen. So basically what I was told is that I probably should figure out a couple different memory clocks to go on. So maybe do something around 3800, then maybe try something on 4K, and then try something at 4200. So, well, from what I'm gathering is, from what I'm hearing is that about 3800 on LN2 is probably going to be good. What is this now? Says, yep, stupid move from MSI. What is the stupid move from MSI? That you show an ES part? Is there a newer BIOS you should be doing? No, the BIOS I'm using is fine. I was told that it's okay. Lance Johnson, I agree, but X570 because I had a particular weak X370. I have no idea. What's up, Chintzy PC? I have an Asus Page 3, some guide sheet to OC my word. Yeah, 990X with 24. To be honest, that's an old system. It's hard to go through. I mean, that'd be that's just a really old ass system. I don't think there's a guide anywhere. I would check hwbot.org if you go into their forums. There might be some guides on there. I mean, to be honest, the last time I benched that board was probably 2011, 2010. Don't get me wrong, it's a badass setup, but it's kind of old. I'm kind of old. Anyways. All right. What's up, broskies? FDM Tech. We're just getting started, so I'm going to do a base right now. We're going to start off small. We're going to start at basically the F clock of 1833, because that's basically all I could get before. Like I was saying before, is if I go to 1900, I can't post, so... And no matter what I've tried on 1900, there's nothing I can do to get it working. When I went to 1867... So if you look, you go up one, 1867, the next one would be 1900. So I had to go, when I went down one, I started getting some weird issues when I booted in. So I couldn't run like CPU-Z. It just started bugging out and having a bunch of problems. So what I ended up doing is basically going down to 1833, and it's been running like a champ. So we're going to keep it on that point for now. I'm going to lower the volts to 1.3. There's no reason to have it at 1.4. I've noticed on these CPUs that, like, I don't know, on all the RYZEN stuff, basically they have like really hot voltages running. So there's no need for it. I mean, just lower it a little bit, especially if you have really shitty cooling. By lowering it, you'll end up to gain some performance and stuff. So, oh yeah, somebody was telling me about the what's it called, the 4800 on DDR4. These actually might be 4800. Seems a little bit big, but yeah, these are really good sticks. So these are like unobtainium sticks. Basically, you most likely won't have these good of sticks, is what it comes down to. But it's not always about the sticks either, though. It could be about the IMC on the actual what's it called, on the board itself, or on the chip itself. What was I reading? There's plenty of YouTube guys. Yeah. So let's get into it. We're gonna start off at 3733. One of the weird stuff that goes on, let's see, we'll just start off with 14. Actually, yeah, we'll start off with 14 and then I'll bring that down. We'll start going and messing with stuff too. Let's go down. There's some weird stuff when you go with the AMD board, or the MSI board. So every time I change any type of F clock or anything, I gotta go in this area and change this. Okay, good. 1T and disabled. Because otherwise, the gear down mode, I'll basically end up being like 15 instead of 14, CL for 14. So you want to make sure you're doing pretty good on that. So let's go back. I guess we can go over, if you guys didn't watch the other stream, you could watch that stream too and see some of the basic settings. We kind of, on the old stream, we basically went through and kind of did some preliminary, just stock testing. Now, I heard a couple people that were wondering, and basically if this is an ES chip. Yes, it's an ES chip, so they actually are 100 megahertz lower than retail chips, but that doesn't mean they're any worse or any better than the production chips. All that means is that it's an engineering sample and it doesn't have that last stamped check that they wanted to do when they put it in. Intel does the same things, well, where they'll have like a turbo that doesn't match the same one as the retail. I mean, it's pretty typical if you've been doing this for a long time. So let's see. So I ended up doing that. I guess we'll start off at, let's see, 1.9 volts. We're just doing a 1.1 on the Northbridge SoC and then 1.1 on the regular SoC. And I want to say the other thing we did is we went into power. So the other day we basically went and set up a bunch of power. So you'll see like here, load line calibration mode 2. We're also setting the NBSoC on mode 2, and then the other ones we've added a couple enhance, so stuff like that. You want to be careful for the temp protection. I tend to leave it at auto because if if the over temperature protection runs, like it actually ran at the end of the stream last time. Because if the VRM gets too hot, you want it to turn off. So you don't want to disable any type of over temperature protection, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble. So you start showing, hey, what happened? Where are you guys? No one's chatting anymore. I know, I'm just kidding, Bender. So you'll see all the settings that I have here. Yeah, you can see them all. Trying to make sure that stuff's not cut off as much. So, but yeah, some of the things that I turned off, I guess I can go through some the normal settings. Let's see, advanced, PCIe. Oh, I just set up on auto. Nothing to do there. CPU over, that's fine. The only thing I really changed out or turned off is I didn't want any LAN controllers running. We are using an SSD. We're using a Samsung 840. I like to use these for bench ones, so that will be in there. It's not in here right now because I have it unplugged. But we also turn off the audio controller. There is no reason to have the audio controller. Come on, man. So, let's see. USB, we shouldn't matter. Nothing in there. Keep this all stock. Keep it stock. No, we don't want to erase anything. And the AMD overclocking stuff's fine for now. I think that's it. So what we'll do is I'm going to make sure it posts. When I say it posts, that means it actually reboots. And you see the post code. It actually goes through the post code and actually boots up properly. What thermal runaway is fun if you're not paying? Yes. Anyway, so what's going on, Slackers? I just actually found out that YouTube allowed me to have channel memberships now. So I guess that's something new that's going to come down. I'll probably end up doing it before Vegas or maybe sometime this weekend when I start going through all the stuff that channel members get. So you'll see that button, but down by the subscribe button if you want to actually join and do something monthly. I wanted to start doing some more like videos that a bunch of little sub videos that where I don't know, you can see a little bit more of my life, because to be honest, you guys don't even see like a half of it. So why is the time 1 day ahead? Come on, we were thinking into the future. No, it's because I have the clock set. The clock's basically set to Saturday the 21st. I don't know why, it just is. I guess I could fix it, but it's not something I really give a shit about. So does disabling things that you don't need in the BIOS help with overclocking? Actually, it does. It used to help more on older systems, but it will help you on these systems too. You'd be surprised. A lot of the times we always use like a PS2 mouse or a PS2 keyboard because it doesn't take up some clock cycles. So what is this? It's an MSI Ace MS. Yeah, I'm not even sure, man. To be honest, I've never touched an MSI. I haven't touched an Intel MSI board since Z97. So, a lot of the times when you have certain voltages for certain boards, between manufacturers, they could mean a lot of different things. One of the biggest issues I've had, especially doing liquid nitrogen on like any of the Z170, 270, 370, 390 platforms, is that they have the liquid nitrogen voltages, but they're all named different. So like when you're looking at one and then looking at another, they can get very I don't know, very interesting. Bender, yes, so only the subscribe button will be up there when I actually go through and configure everything, and you'll see another button up there that will be a channel membership. So that will be greatly appreciated because it helps me get more time to actually do videos. So isn't mode 2 a bit too conservative? Not really. Mode 2 on, that's a good point. That's a good question, actually. So it depends. I haven't seen on these platforms. So if you look, I don't know if you can see on the side. Let me slip down to view 3 here. If you look over to the right, basically it's going to mean it's going to be flat. So if I set 1.2, it's going to be 1.2. It's not going up. It's not going down. We could probably try to do like mode 3, mode 4, and kind of play around. But I'm going to stay at this one for a little bit. I have a feeling we're not going to get too much on CPU right away. But basically, we'll start off at 2, and we'll try other ones. So we'll actually, that's one of the first things I'm going to do. So just note that we're doing mode 2 for now, and then we're going to end up doing the CPU clocks and see what we get. We're not going to get much because obviously there's 32 cores of goodness right there. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. So All right, so let's go back to the other view. Read a couple questions. Let's see. Better you lose the 1-1 over 3,800. So I was also noticing about the you lose the 1-to-1 relationship. Well, I'm noticing on the TRX40 platform, it's not as bad if you break the 1-to-1 relationship. I was kind of playing with it yesterday. I'll show you guys in a little while. But there's some weird stuff that goes on. Basically, you start... If you stop at like 1800 and then you start moving the memory divider up, unlike the X570 stuff, TRX40 actually starts scaling the score. I thought that was pretty interesting. So we'll go over that and I'll show you that in a little bit. But so don't think that whatever X570 is going to do is that this platform is going to do it. Because number one, that's also dual channel. This is quad channel. Makes a difference when you're overclocking mem. To be honest, I wasn't really expecting to see a performance scale go up more and more. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. All right, I'm back. Dude, where's my pretzel thins? I love pretzel thins. Anyway, so you can try running it higher F clock by setting it manually. If you won't boot, your F clock can't hang. Did you see Bill does on memory clocking? Nope, I don't really. I have not seen this video. Yeah, I want to see him actually overclock something now. Is it a video where he actually goes through and does something? Because I don't like watching videos on theory. I don't believe in theory. I want to see what works, and I want to see it with my own eyes. So, yes, this is an engineering sample. Oh, going over 1-to-1, it helps. Okay, that's basically what I was saying, the same thing. So no, an MSI number of modes from the highest to lowest, and 2 is high. So MSI numbers modes from, yeah, it's weird. When you go through different vendors, basically on the modes, they all change. Even EVGA does it different. To be honest, that's what sucks going between so many different boards. And you got to figure, I've shown you guys Gigabyte boards. I've shown you Asus boards. I'm showing you MSI boards. Dude, it drives you nuts. To be honest, I don't know. I think I've broken records on almost every single vendor. I'm not even sure if there's any other person that has ever done that, which is interesting. All right, so go to Costco or Sam's Joe and get a jumbo bag. Maybe you should get me a jumbo bag and send to my address, slacker. Let's see. The master overcomes the 1-1. Get a jumbo. All right. So anyway, let's. I'm just gonna boot up and then we're gonna start playing a little bit. So I gotta plug in the hard drive. Because I like to disconnect the hard drive because next time you reboot, it basically goes right in. I mean, it's easier than that. Instead of going, I hate that. I can't stand doing that. So let's reboot, boot into the OS, and kind of play around. I'll drink my drink a little bit. Oh, you guys got so quiet on me all quick already. We're only what, 7 minutes in, or was it 10? I don't even know how long we're in. We're in about 35 minutes in. Crazy. Says Billzoid did test up to 4266. Yeah, it seems so I ended up doing a test yesterday, and I went up all the way to 4200, and I saw a scale going all the way up just by running frequencies. So I took CL14, I went and did 3800, 4000, 4200. Yes, Pyro, you lazy bastard. Go get me some damn pretzels. All right, so let's go in and kind of start playing around. So I know some of you are complaining that I didn't, I don't know, overclock the last video, but you gotta crawl before you walk. Hi, what's going on, the human germ? From an overclocker's perspective, what changes would you make to modern BIOSes? That's a great question. So basically every single vendor that I've seen overly complicates where the settings are. Why not take an LN2 section and put all the LN2 stuff that you need to change in that one area? I mean, just even an overclocking section. Just put it in one area. If you notice that how many times I gotta go over this section, then I gotta go drop down 3 lists, go over the 1 stack, and dude, it drives me nuts going in. Especially on some of the Asus boards. The Asus boards, you gotta go into here, you gotta go into this one section, and then it's hidden over in this other section. And to be honest, I can't even hate on Asus because Gigabyte does it, ASRock does it, they all do it. To be honest, ASRock has the most slim, which I used to enjoy. But All right, so we're in. Let's see. I'm going to show off kind of what we're doing. Um, Obviously, you guys know that I love Benchmate. Benchmate's a great application. If you want to bench the proper way, where it's basically doing checks to make sure you're not cheating. So if you want to compare to your friends and they're not using Benchmate, then tell them they're cheating. No, just kidding. No, not to say that they're not cheating, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know why people cheat. It's like, come on, who cheats at computers? Like for real? Like, I feel like it's just something that you got to be lame to be able to do that. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. So right now we're at 4 gig. When you go to CPU-Z is like a standard program that we all use. So if you want to get starting into overclocking, you could just download Benchmate and has it all there for you. You'll see different versions of CPU-Z. You have all the Cinebenches there. You have 7-zip, GPU Pi, GPU-Z, SuperPi, PiFast, W Prime. Awesome stuff. And then you pretty much have everything you need there to bench, which is awesome. I think the only thing that you have to work through is the GPU Pi stuff, because you got to install an OpenCL. We did that on the last stream, so you can see what I did on there. So make sure you reference the last stream. But yeah, so we're basically, the one thing I noticed is that I'm at 933 MB frequency, which is strange. Let me just check. You guys remember, I should be on a 1-1 ratio right now. Was I? Actually, I think I might have been off. That might be it. Because I hate hit and delete all the time. What is the best AIO currently for the 3970? I'm not even sure, to be honest. I really don't run AIOs that much. To be honest, I would just go, if you're going to spend that much money on a platform, don't go with an AIO. Learn some, like, advanced cooling methods. Spend some, like, money on, like, some nice water cooling. Because, it's worth it, dude. Like, to keep it cool, to make sure it's running. You don't want to have any thermal throttle. It's worth it to do it. Now, let me see here. Oh, yeah, I'm off. Is that 16? Yeah. All right, so we're going to do the F clock, which is double. Now I can't remember. Anyway. You know what? We're just going to do this. I'm going to go and just load the profile I did. Quit messing around. I was going to show you some things, but I can actually show you at the same time. So we'll just do it this way. Let me just make sure. There we go. EVGA has the best fans. Well, one of the biggest problems that I see with most AIOs is the fans are pretty slow. So you're going to want something that has some nice fan power. Because when you have fan power, you got to you're pushing the air through. A lot of the problems when you'll see on some AIOs are just absolute shitty fans. You barely even know they're running. So, AliExpress custom loop. Definitely go with the, just waiting for the real. I'm about to get the Kingpin. Oh, Kingpin for the, what? What are you going to get a King Bong Bok for? Oh man, thanks for the reply. I didn't think he looks like a Viking. He looks more like he got a Fat Boy Harley and American flag. Why can't I do both, huh? Do I have to break out the Viking helmet again? All right, I know American flag on the front lawn. I do both. 150 watching and only 84 likes. Come on, guys, bring the likes up. Quit slacking. Everybody's always slacking with the likes, you know. I don't mind. Kind of fun. It's enjoyable. I enjoy it. And get off my lawn. All right, so you'll see right here, I ended up booting up to 4200. So I was testing yesterday a couple things that I found out, which was pretty interesting. So let's go into kind of, not much is different. So basically, from 4 gig, we went to 4.2. I started as soon as I went to 4.3, I was starting to have issues though. So the other thing I ended up doing was the DRAM. So did 4200 there, and the max I can, like I said before, I could get on FClock was 1833. I can boot at 1867, but as soon as I do that, like weird shit starts happening, and whenever you start getting weird stuff and like that, that means stability is bad. So yeah, so I ended up backing it down. Now you can see at the DRAM frequency, I didn't change too much. I just changed everything to 14, kept it on. For some reason, if I set command rate to 1, I have issues. I think maybe if I lower down the 4K, that maybe I'll be able to do command rate 1. But so we're stuck on command rate 2. So I'm not sure if that's going to make too much of a difference in some of these benchmarks that we're using, but some of them will. They never had horns. What do you mean they never had horns? Next purchase, an open loop gear, maybe a bigger case or no case. How about that? Cases are overrated. See how my setup is? Huh? Yeah, no case. If you look at the stream box, which you can't look over there, basically, it's like this. Yeah. Cases are overrated. All right, so basically, we're setting CL14 on all, and we're just going to boot in, and then we'll do some runs, and then we'll kind of compare to what we were getting on stock. So there obviously was an improvement. The one thing that I was kind of disappointed in was that we didn't really see, when I started updating the Infinity Fabric. Now, on like say the 3700X, the 3900X, when you keep upping the Infinity Fabric with the memory clock on the one-to-one relationship, man, the performance goes like dramatically. It's not so much the same with TR. You still get a little bit of a performance jump when you go in there, but it's not anything that's like insane like the 3900X. If you've watched some of the streams that Gamer Nexus, Steve, Tech Jesus, and I have done, you basically see that if you were to take the 3900X and go from 4 gig, and you're upping the Infinity Fabric with memory, just the memory, not really dialing in the timings, you're going to get more performance just from pumping the Infinity Fabric in memory than you are going to up the CPU 400 megahertz. On TR, not the same. What's interesting though is like you still get a bump by basically jumping the Infinity Fabric, but it's not as prevalent as it is on the smaller chips. Now, the one thing that I noticed that's much better on these versus the other chips, and what's really strange is this is a quad channel system, which means there's 4 channels, right? Any X570 is dual channel. So to see that these are scaling more when you overclock and break that one-to-one relationship, which means having the F clock and the mem at the same, when you did that, you caused a performance decrease on an X570. In this one, it just keeps increasing. I haven't found a part when it doesn't increase. So it's pretty interesting so far with TR. And overall, this platform is pretty nice. It almost reminds me of X99 or X299 in a way. I know people are probably going to shoot me for that, but it's pretty much what it's like, okay? So, apples to apples, right? Hello, Beard. How's the OC going? Not too bad. So, let's go. I'm going to open this up real quick. Show you the clocks, and we're going to do a score. Let's actually go through one thing. So on the stock scores, we're going to go R20. We'll do R20. So let's see. So this was stock 14,865, 15,983, 1609, 16,153, 16,2. All right, so 16,2 was our highest score when we ran stock. So this is what we did the other stream. We basically found that 16,231 was our fastest stock R20. Now, it's different on this system versus a retail system. And the reason why is that they decided somewhere between the ES and retail to jump 100 megahertz on the clocks. So it's going to be a little bit slower on stock. So it's not really an apples. I mean, there's not much I can do on that. So, but to be honest, that 100 megahertz ain't going to make that much of a difference. So that's what our score reference is 6231. So let's see, by making the memory changes, bumping it up to 4.2, let's see what happens. Let's see. So if you guys haven't benched with Benchmate before, go to benchmate.org. You can this is the full one. So basically you can see where it has all these benches that you can use. I mean, it's nice and easy to use. You can't complain. A lot of the overclockers I've ever seen, they always complain about a lot of different stuff, which is like, oh, you mean I gotta go get a benchmark? Everything's here for you, so you can't complain. If you complain, I'm gonna come after you. Not really, but you can dream. All right, so we're gonna run Cinebench R20, and we want to see how good it runs. So let's kick it off. Now, what I've noticed a couple times that you basically have to run it and run it and run it. You got to keep on going. What is this? Depending on what Windows patch you are, but they did a lot of changes to core selection for AMD and Windows 10. Yes, that's why you want to have a newer version of Windows 10, because they made some schedule and tweaks. I think it was in between 1800 and 1900. ISO kind of eating by experience. What? All right, so I did the first run and I destroyed that score by 500 points. Now, what I've noticed, what I was trying to say before is basically if I keep running this, there's a point where it keeps going up and keeps going up and keeps going up, and then it kind of stops. So I'm at 4200 memory, 1.95 volts. What was I going to say? We're at CL 14, 14, 14, 14, I think. Yes, you can dream. But yeah, and then the Infinity Fabric is at 1833. Yeah, so look at that, 17,251. So we are 1,000 points higher just from overclocking. Says which is where Infinity, so programs doing cross-chiplet workloads could mean. So you notice how we're going up more and more? I'm pretty sure, I can't remember what I actually tapped out on. I want to say it's much higher than that. I want to say that we hit the 18K somewhere. Can't wait till these ads end to join the stream. Are you getting a bunch of ads? Sorry, broski. You gotta pay. I gotta get some moolah somehow, bro. I misheard what he said, plus I joined the stream and he is 4-2. Yes, I'm at 4-2 on the clocks, on MEM and on CPU. So, alright, now we're at 17,493. I want to say I got to 1800, but now I don't remember. I think I was just testing, R15. So I want to say that's I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Basically what it is. Okay, so Windows 10 in 1909 seems to work the best with RYZEN. Yep, that is the one to use. Get some liquid helium. Ooh, look at that. 17,970, or not. 17,797. So it's even 500 points higher than before. So we're still getting more points. Now, I have 320 liters of liquid nitrogen right now. So let's just say tomorrow we're going to be doing some fun stuff. So, I don't know, we might as well do this on stream today probably. So we'll go through some overclocks on water, make sure everything's going right, and then we can insulate the board. I don't know. Would you guys want to see that? I mean, see me probably screw up something? Oh, look at that, 18,303 for R20. So we're at 4.2 on CPU, 4.2 on MEM. We're at 1833 on the Infinity clock. Pretty damn good. All right, hell man, that's awesome. On the ThreadRipper and water cooling, yes, this is water cooling. If you guys didn't hear me before, I'm basically using the Pacific, was it CL 480? It's basically a 480 rad, so basically 4 120s on the fans. So on one side, we're doing a push-pull setup, so basically 8 fans. So it's not too bad. So this is the impressive thing. So their top score so far is 18,303 on R20. We're at 4.2. I don't know. Every time that I've tried to run 4.3, it's failed, but I haven't really tried. It says, where are the fitted, bearded hardware hats? They're coming. I'm finally getting some time, so I'm going to be working on a bunch of different stuff. So I want to see this Chippo. Yeah, I guess we'll have to do that after this. Oh, what is this? It failed. See how hot it is. Nope, pretty good. Did someone say straight to LN2? We're going to have to run it a couple times again. I never go straight to LN2. So one of the things that we're going to have to do is basically what I'm figuring out now is like what IF clock I can use. what kind of memory clocks I can use. So it might change. Usually, you guys need to understand. So when I'm doing liquid nitrogen stuff, basically, I don't really, or now I forgot what the hell I was going to talk about. So basically with liquid nitrogen, you don't just want to jump on the system and put it on liquid nitrogen. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get the most efficiency. So usually what I do is basically I'll go through, like, kind of, I'm showing you basically what I do. First, I'll kind of get like some base scores, test the system, make sure it all works. I'll get all the OS, everything working. Basically, all the benches, make sure they run. And then I'll go through and then I'll make sure I'll go through and test memory. I'll test all the different things of basically all over the system, just to make sure it works and make sure that I score properly. And then when I'm happy with that, that's when I go to liquid nitrogen. Because you never want to just go to liquid nitrogen because you never know what happens. It's not as easy as just putting liquid nitrogen on a chip. A lot of things might not work. So like one of the big things with the AMD chips is you can't necessarily have a high F clock when you go fully cold. And with these chips, you really need to go like minus 196. So, let's see. Was it Kakasaro? Do you do memory stability tests or bench only and hope it finishes? No, I do memory stability tests too, but I'm not going to be doing it. Since I'm benching, I do it for whatever program I'm using. If I wanted to do something that, like say a system that I want to make sure tests memory, I would do memtest. Stuff like that. If I wanted to have like a production system and I wanted to make sure it never fails, I would run memtest pretty much a bunch of times to make sure it's good. So let's kick this off one more time because it failed before. Let's see. What else we have here? I wonder how this chip will react to cold. So that's an interesting thing because from what I hear, it is very chip dependent, right? So I'm hearing all sorts of weird stuff. I've heard people tell me that they can't get it colder than minus 140°C, which is probably not going to be good. That's probably why some people are locked to around 5.2, 5.3-ish. I know the world record, or at least a world record for R15 is at like 5.6, and he doesn't seem to have cold issues. So, kind of one of those things where, yeah, I don't think it's too hot. I was checking the VRM, and the VRM is pretty, not even toasty with the fan. I know last time when we were running this was actually getting really, really hot. And I think we actually hit the OTP at the end, which is over temp protection. So, but it's fine now. Just as long as you have a little bit of fans on there, it's pretty good. Let's see. I wonder how this chip, it says like minus 80°C. Minus 80°C isn't anything. Liquid nitrogen will go down to minus 196. That's where the magic happens. Check temps. Maybe it failed because no, it's probably not getting too hot. Alright, so this is pretty much one of the highest. We're going to run it one more time because this is kind of where it was before and then it failed. Seemed like between like 18,300, 18,400. So what you noticed is from a regular to an actual decent overclock, we gained 2,000 points in R20. It's pretty badass. Okay, what else you got here? Looking good, bearded one. Looking good too, browski. You pretty much only run memtest when you want the OC as a daily. It's in competitive clocking, never. Right, Slacker? So, Christian, when do you run those tests? When to stop trying to get higher scores and start gaining stability? So, from what Christian's saying is basically, yeah, so basically what Christian's saying is that when you want to test for daily, this is not, basically we're performance benching right now. So this is like taking your car to the racetrack and doing a test and tune, right? So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Now, if you want to go and you're working for a system, like say you're introducing a car, you want to test to make sure everything works. And you're not really necessarily trying to get the most performance. You want to make sure stability is the utmost importance. That's when you would do memtest. Now, it doesn't mean you can't get performance. It's just going to take a long time because you're going to update the settings and then you're going to basically run memtest. Then you're going to update the settings and then run memtest. But it's going to take you a long period of time. So you can do either or. For this, the performance stuff, I mean, we're basically Cinebench stable. That's kind of, you only need to be stable as your bench is. So it's a little bit different from daily. This is more of a performance area. So, All right, Stephen Huff for the Red Bull and hat encouragement. I know I could use a Red Bull right now. Where were you before, broski? Where were you before? All right, can we run again? Bearded one, the fifth chaos god. Fear the beard. Yeah, we can run one more time. I'm going to start changing a couple settings because I want to actually see if we can go to 4.3. Do you typically use water cooling on your VRMs? So that's a good question. Back in the day, I used to. So say like X58, right? So X58, I used to run VRM coolers, and they actually used to work. I don't know, something happened in between that time when you had all the different vendors and stuff that were basically, I don't know, they kind of cheaped out. I don't know if you guys ever heard, basically when X299 came out, and Roman basically showed you that all the VRMs were not working. You had a bunch of board vendors that basically, and the reason why is because those chips pulled such high wattage that they have basically had fake VRM coolers on the damn boards, which is total bullshit, which is funny as hell. But, so they were pretty much caught with their pants down. So you don't really need to, especially with liquid nitrogen, because it's actually naturally cooling the whole board. So you don't necessarily have to, but I would still at least have something on there. Like for this board, I'm going to keep the VRM cooler on there. But I'll make sure I'll have a fan that kind of blows on it a little bit. I think we should be good. But as long as I have that VRM cooler, because you got to make sure you take care of the VRM. I basically always have some type of cooler on there. It definitely works better. I mean, if there was a water cooler for this, I probably would hook it up to this and put it on there, because the other day when we were running on the other stream, man, the board was getting hot. But this VRM, just with one little fan like that, it's doing pretty well, doing much better than it was before. So, all right, let's see, what percentage do you usually run memtest to? I don't know, it's been a while, I'd have to check it out. You basically want to run it for like a day at least. Okay, Cresco. Why do so many overclockers not pay any attention to the VRM temperatures, especially with LN2? I'm talking replacing thermal pads with nice Fuji Extreme ones. So chintzy. It's kind of basically what I said before. I do recommend doing that, but on the liquid nitrogen, you got to think about this, right? I have this big metal pot that goes on top of here. What happens naturally when you get so cold is that it starts transferring the cold to the board. One of the big issues that we usually have is that memory, Samsung VDI basically does not like cold temperatures. At least most of them don't. And what happens is the cold ends up transferred to memory, and it basically starts causing issues. Well, that cold also transfers to the VRM, so technically it helps to cool them. So you don't necessarily have to worry about it too much. The main thing that we really have to worry about on liquid nitrogen stuff is basically making sure that no water pools up, so that way no shorts occur. That's kind of the major goal that we do. All right, so I'm trying to catch up on some of these. What's the current core multiplier? So we are at, here, let me put this up while I'm chucking. So yeah, basically we're at 42. Right now we're at 42 on the core, and then we're on 4200 on the memory, right? We're running, you'll see 4200, and then on memory you'll see that we're basically at 4200. So what you gotta do is you basically gotta double this, because it's double data rate. So basically you double this, and it basically equals the megahertz. So let's see, what else? Are you using the Zenith 2? Came in late. Nope. We are using the MSI TRX40 Creator. Great board. No issues whatsoever. It's actually working pretty good. Let's see. Will this become your daily workstation? To be honest, I think the Xeon board is going to become my workstation. It's such a big monster board. It's kind of like me. It's kind of like, I don't know. So if you look at here, you see the foam that I have? That's how big that C621 Horus is, bro. It's that big. So I think after I do liquid nitrogen on it to compare it to this, I'll probably end up using that, and then I'll end up this would be one of my top bench platforms. So, all right, because I think this platform is probably going to win, I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to do better in some things, and then do worse in others, so. I think for a workstation, I think the Aorus is probably a better one for me. So, I'll probably be benching this one all the time anyway. So this one will probably be there, and the Xeon will be over there. So they'll be dueling battle back and forth. So, all right. So LN2 for metal increases its properties. While treating a CPU in LN2 for 24 hours increase anything in its properties, running it underwater. Later, not overclocking one or running at one under LN2. So I've used a bunch of LN2 CPUs daily. I still have ones that I've literally tortured the hell out of, and they still run completely fine. You don't really have to heat treat them or anything. I mean, by doing that, it's some. I mean, it can weaken some things. I mean, I haven't seen an issue by putting liquid nitrogen on a chip where it kills it. So I don't know if that's your point, but that's what I'm answering. It says, on my X38 OC bench, I need 3 fans on the VRM heatsinks, and the Asus P5 I'm using has pretty strong heatsinks. I guess the VRM is a bit weak. Yes, so that's an interesting question, too. So basically, if you have a VRM that's getting really hot, it can be cheap on the cheaper side. A lot of the ones that, like the really, really good VRMs, will not get as hot under load. So, all right. What's the next one? Just woke up from nap. What's up? Wake up! All right, nowadays we got 8 to 16.60 amp phases on our VRMs. We should be good. Well, the funny part is this VRM on this board is baby compared to the other one. I want to say it's like 16 versus 32. It's literally double on that thing for the Xeon. It's crazy. Oh, say, how many times will you say basically on the stream? Basically, I'll say as much as I want because it's my damn stream, slacker. I'm gonna make you pay for that, slacker. All right, so what the fuck? 4200 at CL14. Shaking my head. What's wrong? 2 volts? No, it's 1.95. Patriot. No, these are G-Skill Royal Trident Z's. These are the gold ones. They're so pretty. All right. Way I explain OC to people is like tuning a carburetor for best performance and best fuel mileage. It's true. I like that analogy. I love people giving fingers, too. It's kind of funny. I wasn't sure if you would gain more clocks after LN2 treatment while OC and underwater. So, basically, the whole thing is, most people say, why are you messing with this before you go on to LN2? I gotta get everything right before I go and waste the juice, man. That liquid nitrogen is like liquid gold. So, but yeah, we want to make sure everything's tested and working before we put liquid nitrogen. Because when you start putting liquid nitrogen on it, you can't change too many variables. You have to be careful. And these chips are actually very complicated on liquid nitrogen because their properties change. So if I can do like 1900 on the Infinity Fabric, when I go under cold, I'll probably only be able to run 1300. Which then affects memory, so that I'm most likely going to have to bring memory down. So I want to try to get an idea of what it does, get used to the board and used to the setup, and then I'll put it under liquid nitrogen. All right, I wasn't sure. Blah, blah, blah. Do you want to set? It says, do you want to set up a fan for your VRMs? Yes, you want a fan on your VRM. You just want something blowing over it. All right, won't the Xeon pull 800 watts? Why did you switch out the Hynix? So the reason why, that's a really good question. I said it before, but I'll say it again. So the Thermaltakes that I put in here before, I haven't tested them previously. I just wanted to open them up and get some prettiness out of them. I wanted to take pictures. I wanted to see how pretty they looked in this nice MSI board. The thing is I still have to bin them yet. So I need to go through them, find out the different modules that are better and which ones are worse. And I'm going to end up doing that on a video, but I'm going to do that on a different board. Most likely, I'm going to do it on that Impact board up there. So, and I'm going to, I don't know. I've debated on doing it on Intel and then also doing it on AMD. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. So, it's something like that. All right. So, yeah, with the Xeon thing, with the pull 800 watts, it's going to pull more than 800 watts. I think this pulls around 800 watts now. It's actually a good thing. Let's check to see how much wattage this does. Anybody? I think it was like 750 the last time I did it. Let's see. All right, let's do a run real quick. and I have this app. So I basically have a remote. I can turn this on and off remotely. So it's a program I can look at. It's kind of weird though on the phone. I kind of have to refresh it and kind of refresh it a couple times. It's kind of annoying, but. And now they're making me do some type of agreement crap. All right, so it's at 150 watts idle right now, right? Yeah, 150. So we're gonna run it. The problem is I gotta keep refreshing it. So it's 225, 271. Whoa, what happened there? And the app hung, so then I can't get it. What a pain in the ass. Are you planning to harvest the modules and make your own DIMMs? No. Okay, let's try that again. That was weird. Very strange. I wonder if it's just pushing a lot of watts and it's not used to it, because it didn't do this yesterday. Are you planning let's see. I like you guys stream. I want to test these bad boys out. Love the G-Skill Royals. They are great. Are you playing in a harbor with a basically what's going on over here? Do I have to kick somebody? Alright, says my seal does 37 seal, saying it will kill the IMC at 1.5. I am skeptical, not much over 1.5. So Michael, what are you talking about? People will say it'll kill the IMC. So you're talking about 1.55 on DDR? That's not going to kill anything. Cool Cameron, oh my god, the boxes. Alright, so let me try this again. I wanted to get some power, and I don't know what the hell is going on with it now. Alright. Let's try this again. For some reason, it's just not wanting to do. Alright, it's doing a little bit better now. Spoke too soon. 556, 550. Come on. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to get an accurate for some reason. I'm going to end up having to get another one. I have another one in the garage somewhere that will tell me like on demand instead of doing this thing, because I don't know, it was working fine the other day and now it's not working any good now. Hire me. Did Splave and some other guy do that way back? Do what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Looks like I have to push my RAM even harder. Yes, you do. Only saw a person with their one DIMM was window for ECC 3200. Yeah, there's no reason to make your own DIMMs. Basically, what I'm going to do is go through each and basically figure out which one's the better one. So a lot of the times, I'll get a lot of different memory modules. Like these ones, I've actually went through hundreds of modules to find the better ones, right? I'm a lucky dude that I get to do that. So we ended up, that's called binning. Basically, finding the best out of all the different, whatever you have is called binning. I don't know if you guys need to know that. I might have to do a video on it, but whatever. It says, I think people think you're running 1.5 to the SAIO on Intel or SoC on MD. Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about, 1.5. So if you're running 1.5 on DDR, you're not going to kill shit. Now, if you run it at 1.5 on SoC, that's a good possibility you might kill something. If you run 1.5 on SA and IO on the Intel platforms, I've seen where it can kill some chips, but it also, I've seen it where it won't. I've had my one 9900K, which is actually, my really good 9900K is actually in my stream box. And basically, I run SA at 1.6 on air. So, I mean, it doesn't mean it's not going to die, but I've read, well, that one I've pretty much pressed for a while, so I don't know. How are you reading the power from the phone? Yeah, I had this app, but it doesn't work for shit, so I'm not doing it now. Let's see. He switched out the RAM out because they sucked, but don't want to hurt Thermaltake feelings because they sponsored him. That is not true at all. So I'm actually used to more Samsung because I do a lot of work for G-Skill. So I ended up switching over because I'm not used to Hynix. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bin them individually, find the best ones, and then I'll put them back in here. So I just think they look pretty. So, what else we got here? Bin individual. I think it was SOC is. Let's see. Wendell did the before 3200 Ethereum was available. That way to get better clocks possibly on Epic One. Well, 3200 is not really gonna do much. So, Noswolf, what's up, Slacker? I was just teaching Wifey about binning, huh? What did she think? All right, so let's move on a little bit. Let's get back into overclocking again. So we got R20. The highest we ran was about 18,300. I'm going to try that one more time to see if I can get my current power level. Okay, it worked there. 557, 553, 550, 551. Now it's hanging again. Weird. I've used this app a bunch of times, and the only time, of course, it does it when I'm on stream. It's kind of crazy. Sup, Slackers? KT Coo, what's going on, brother? All right, so we got a little bit in. So we're pushing almost about 580 watts right now, which is crazy. We'll run one more time, see if we can get up to 18,300, because I didn't take a screenshot, so. What a great question, Nuke. Do you bin sticks one at a time? Usually, yes. It's a little difficult depending on which platform you bench. So Z390, there's some weirdness that goes on the Intel side. It's much easier for me to show you than to actually... Basically, it's very hard to bin one stick at a time on the Z390 platform. It's kind of weird. It's pretty interesting. We did it all and... it's funny because it's actually easier to do dual channel than it is to do single channel on the Z390 platform. It's quite crazy. I'll have to, it's easier for me to show you than try to make you guys understand what it is, but just relaxing. Glad to have you here, Slacker. Noswolf. I have Hynix C-Die 3000 and we're currently 3200. Not bad. She's a tech junkie like me, so not as bored as maybe some wives would be. Yeah, I know. My girl would be like, what the hell is that? All right, so I think I will push for F-Clock, 1900 and 3800 CL14. Yeah, go for it. Nothing wrong with that. You might have to push the, what's it called, DDR a little bit more. Get it, phones. Let's see, what's up with the name? Engineering sample? That's exactly right. So it is an engineering sample, so it will give us a little bit different info. It really doesn't matter right now since I'm basically all manually clocked, but when we initially had stock settings, it was going to be different than a retail, where it's going to be about 100 megahertz off. It doesn't mean that it's worse than a retail chip. It just means that they just didn't put the code in to make it jump that 100 megahertz extra, which is crazy. So yeah, Michael Coles, is that X570? That's what it seems like, so... So we got 4200. So what's cool is I have a little utility. So I work with MSI on this. MSI was nice enough to give the creator board for the setup. So they have a utility. It's called Command Center Lite. Now I can't release this to the public, but I can most likely have them give you an addition that basically that you guys can use, but it might have some volt limitations. I have one for the X570 Godlike, so if you guys want that, just stay tuned. Just remind me on Twitter, and I gotta put up an FTP. I just haven't. I've been slacking, so. Let's see. The Meg Ace 3900X. Slacker. You're making my 3900X looks bad. The whole point. There's 32 cores of goodness in there. All right, says now I'm stuck at 1866. Yeah, Frank, so I'm stuck at 1833. If I put 1866, it will fail sometimes. So, but anyway, so what we're going to do is, I was having some failures at 43, but I haven't tried anything basically lower. So, 4225 is probably what I need to do. Bob G, X99 mem recommendations. Actually, yes, DDR4, I'd probably recommend Hynix. One of the problems with some of the X99 CPUs is the IMC tends to be pretty weak. Can't really handle BDI all that well, but it seems to love Hynix. Hynix seems to do very well. So, Timmy Tech, what's up? What's going on, broski? So, for binning, usually do higher rated MT result and better ability to hit tighter timing since pre-binned, or does that matter? Usually I do tight timing. So there's a couple different ways. Like if you want to do a like max frequency, obviously you're gonna just go for the frequency on DDR. But we want to have a balance between tight timings and frequency. So usually we'll do some type of like 12-12 or a 12-11 type setup with anywhere between 4200. I think the minimum now is between 4100 to 4200, but that's on Intel. So to be honest, I haven't quite figured out AMD. I have way more experience on Intel side, so I'm still learning. And TRX 40 seems to be completely different, which is kind of wild. So it's pretty interesting. Let's see, Michael Coase. My CDD1 well on water, 4.65 on all 6 cores, 175C. Not bad. All right, so we're gonna bump this up. We're gonna go to 4225. I want to see if we can get it higher than our, what is it, 18,300. So, well, looks like we jumped to 4225. Let's close this out and let's do a run. Slacker 0. You are a 0. So what's going on, guys? If you're new here, what's up? Make sure you like. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. So we're going to be doing lots and lots of good stuff over the next several days. It's the holiday time. I have off work. I get to do a lot of different stuff. So, we're going to be doing liquid nitrogen on this platform, most likely tomorrow or Sunday. I haven't made a commitment yet. I might have to go through the garage and clean up some stuff, because I got some other cool stuff. So, Thermaltake actually got me a new badass table. So, basically, it's a, like, I don't know if you guys have seen that Thermaltake gaming table. Thing is badass. Basically, you have a button you can raise and lower it. It's pretty awesome. Timmy! I know you wanted to do that. Oh, so, but there's a lot of stuff going on. So make sure you like. I know we got 230 concurrent. Come on, man, get those likes up. And make sure you subscribe. And, yeah, I don't remember anymore. So anyway, so we got an improvement. We were at 18,333, I think, which was our top score before. But like I said, with this bench, for some reason, you got to run it and kind of run it a couple times to get the max temp, or get to max score. It kind of needs like a warm-up. I don't know if it has anything to do with cache. I'm really not sure, just because I'm still new playing with it, but kind of what it is. How's the road burn? I don't know, a little to the left? All right, so we got a lower score that time. So I'm wondering if we're at that, like, that limit where it's maybe a little bit too hot. I don't know. You got a Slacker Christmas branch decorated somewhere? Christmas branch? You mean a Christmas tree? Yeah, we actually got a nice... Oh, I should have one in here, huh? I don't know. I have some surprises that we're going to end up doing, so bear with me. I got a nice surprise that's going to happen on the other stuff. Let's see. Any tips for high scores in benching? Yes. Grow a beard. Helps all the time. Says, Billizoid found that memory bandwidth on TRX 40 does scale with frequency, but takes a hit in the latency department. Well, that's everything. That's kind of a weird fucking thing to say. Because just because it doesn't, I don't understand it. It does not take a hit in the latency department. Maybe if you have shitty memory. But if you have proper memory, probably not. Oh, you crashed and had road rash. Yeah, I'm actually pretty healed. My wrist is still kind of like, I must have sprained it really bad when I busted my ass, but doing much better this time. I'm not, the aches and pains have went away. Come on, what is this? I feel like we're scoring lower. Let's try something else. Let's go, I'm gonna reopen it. And we're just gonna try to run it a couple times. See if we can get a better score. I wanna make sure I save that, because I didn't save it before. So what's a better, water cooler or air cooled? I would always do water cooled. Air cooled, it tends to heat soak too much. Water cooling is obviously one of the best ways to cool anything. That's why most cars are well water cooled. And in theory, basically, it works pretty much the same way. All right, so this should be higher this time. Wonder what could decorate a Xmas tree in an OC cave. So the Slacker cave, I don't know, I kind of need a little tree. I don't want to tell my girl that because then, you know, she's going to end up having a big tree all over everywhere. You got to see the rest of the house. Kind of drives me nuts. But yeah, so my wrist is pretty good. Just gives me more room to be able to break something again. I'm going to end up doing some videos on the boards probably next week sometime. I want to test out. I got a wheel upgrade. I think if you guys have been following me, basically I do a lot of electric skateboards and stuff. So I ended up buying a wheel kit. The one board that I have now, that's the best we've done so far. So I'm going to make sure I save this. The one board I have is actually a modified boosted board. It's basically I broke my original boosted. It's a boosted dual plus. The original with the orange orangutan wheels and stuff. You can't get them new anymore. But I ended up breaking that board. But I also souped it up. So basically put in new wheels, new bearings. I ended up changing the wheel size. I also changed the gearing on there. So now the one that I have now that I use basically runs about 27 miles an hour. And it hauls ass. So you see a big 300-pound man like me riding a board doing 27 miles an hour, you better watch out because if I hit you, you're going down. Let's see, where we go here? Did that other one not open? Here we go. Yeah, so I'm going to do a wheel change on that one. That is going to do about 32 miles an hour. So if you guys don't hear from me, you know what happened. I just busted my ass and I probably killed myself on an electric skateboard. So. But I actually have another project coming, and which we're going to do a video on also, is I'm going to be building an electric bike. So if you guys have followed, yes, basically. So if you followed Vince, a.k.a. Kingpin, or Steve, a.k.a. Tech Jesus, those guys are both into bikes, right? So I've been into electric stuff for a long time. I've probably been riding boards for probably like 3.5 years now. So I actually have 4 boards. I kind of, to say that I get out of control with it is probably is pretty much what goes on. Well, look at that. So we ended up saving it. Oh yeah, I gotta do the score. Hold on. Save result and save. All right, so let's run it again. Yeah, so I ended up basically what I bought today is. We're going to basically build an electric bike, but let's see if we can actually beat whatever Steve and Vince are building. Because I know they have some fast bikes, but I'm a little crazier than them. So I think mine's probably going to be faster than Vince's. So I might actually have to build the rest of the bike. So I have a nice $1,300 mountain bike, but I might have to upgrade the rest of the mountain bike to handle the electric motor and controller and battery that I have. Because I don't know if you guys know anything about, they use different volts. So like even if you have a golf cart, they have like a 36 volt battery. You have a 48 volt, and then you have like I think a 52, and then you have like a 72. Oh, even better right there. We just improved. Oh yes. But yeah, let's see. So I want to see. To be honest, I'm kind of excited about my electric stuff coming. So hopefully by the end of next week, I'll have that in, and that will be. We'll do a video on it. So if you guys want to do some insane electric stuff, basically we'll just do a video on it, and you guys will find out about that. So I like to do a bunch of different crazy stuff with all types of tech. I mean, we got a lot going on, man. When I go to Vegas. The first video I'm probably going to put out is on the new Mavic Pro 2 drone. I want to actually do that in Vegas when I get there for CES, so that's some cool stuff what we're going to do. I don't know, I just like to do a lot of different stuff. This year I think we're going to have to soup up the golf cart too. And then, let's see, next week we have some stuff coming about the Viper project. I've actually been sitting up trying to figure out what ports I'm going to get for that project, because that one's one of the pain in the ass ones. All right. So be careful. I saw a skateboarder go downhill, blow through a red light, and hit by a bus while it was at a bar in Seattle. No shit. See, the nice thing about an electric skateboard, it's not that you can move just with the button, but you can brake too. So, like, it's awesome. So imagine having a skateboard with brakes. So basically, when you hit, like, reverse on the controller, it's pretty awesome. All right, so great job, Beardy One. Going back to overclocking my 3960X. I have to catch Stuart GGF on Cine 15. He scored 6802 on HWBot. I'm at 6733. Come on, Frank. Kick Stuart's ass. Stuart's a buddy of mine. If you haven't noticed that when you go and look at my channel, I have his channel down there somewhere. He's a slacker. I think I might actually see him at CES. I don't know. I haven't talked to him, but I gotta hit him up. So make sure, Frank, kick his ass, will ya? Please? All right, so he's out of control. Going for the 100-mile-an-hour barrier. Yes. What a treat to sit down after work and just be a slacker. Is the TR mem controller better than the RYZEN has? So far, yes. So far, what we've learned is basically you can actually overclock memory for sure now. Before, when you went over your IF limit, your Infinity Fabric, you used to get a performance dive. So as soon as you started heading over about probably anywhere from 1900, as soon as you start overclocking your memory and break that one-to-one relationship, the performance used to go to shit. Now on TRX 40, that does not happen. So you can see that we're actually at 4200 right now at CL14. I'm going to start bringing that down in a little bit, but I wanted to see how we were scoring because this is the highest score that I've been able to get. We're going to run it one more time, and then we're going to try probably like R15. Actually, maybe we'll bump up the clocks a little bit because we're at 5225 right now, or 4225 right now. So yeah, we're basically there, Zero. HI Express, check out a Tech PC's YouTube channel. Yeah. The thumbs up are lagging, y'all. Get on that button. Come on, guys. Quit slacking. We're at 210 concurrent, and none of you guys are. Like the video. Like it. Like it. Ooh, we're close. I'll do one more run since we're so close to that score. 18,361. Do you see how, like, when we keep going, it's weird with TR. It almost seems... It's like it needs a cache or like a warm-up. It's kind of crazy. But, yeah. Ugh. Oops. Trying to break stuff over here. Luckily you guys can't see. Oh, so what's going on, slackers? How is your Friday night going? Well, if you're around here, it's a Friday night for me. Are you guys getting off work? Time for vacation? Because, hey, Christmas is next week. Christmas Eve is next week, too. It's crazy. Can't believe it's the end of December already. Zen 3 is going to be amazing. I'm skipping this gen. Why would you, Richard, why would you skip this generation? This generation of AMD chips has been the best since I can't even remember the last time that AMD had actually had some goodness. I don't know if I would say it's mind-blowing compared to Intel, but I mean, it is pretty damn good to see that they're back. Now, I don't know. But yeah, the next generation, I am pretty excited to see how much their plus happens on the new Ryzens, but we got at least a year for that, so we'll see. Let's see. Bender, have you seen anyone get F-clock past 1900 by much on Ryzen? So, yes, I've been past 1900, so I did a test on my old MSI board, my Godlike, and I was able to get around 1933. I found that I don't know if it's a board issue or if there's something particular, because I've heard on some that like Asus boards that they couldn't get them up for some reason, so I'm not really sure why. On this particular one, I'm only able to get to 1833. I can boot it 1867, but the problem is that it's not really stable. It starts causing issues, so. Let's see. I have no TR to play. That sucks. Yeah, Socket 9339 was probably the last one to play. Says, I know they're brilliant, but the next series will be better. Money, basically, Joe. I know, not everybody's a king slacker like myself. But I would recommend that looking at the new generation if you are definitely buying. There's definitely no reason to not. Waving slacker killing this ram while I'm playing War Thunder. It's a good Friday night. So what are you guys doing? What do you have plans for this weekend? My plan is to slack off with you guys. Basically liquid nitrogen as much as possible. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me make sure something's going on here. Let me make sure, because remember I told you I ordered that electric bike stuff. But I think this guy messaged me back. Okay, good. No, I think he called me and then, yeah. I don't know, I spent a good chunk of change on that, so I want to have some badassness when it comes to the electric bike. So anyway, what's it? AMD is more than back. They're obliterating. I wouldn't get there obliterating Intel. I would say for sales, yeah, but as performance, to be honest, the Intel stuff is actually more of a, I don't know, bang for the buck, which is really weird. If the AMD chips were cheaper, I would say yes, but right now the way AMD is like it's hard to find a 3950X for under like 1050. Like that's ridiculous. Even like say the 3900X is not going for $500. It's going for anywhere up to 600, even maybe even higher, right? So like the Intel stuff, now that they've dropped prices, is a lot better than it was before. So I would say that that's pretty much, I don't know. So let's go again. Let's see. Let's do another 25 megahertz up and see what it does. See if we can get. I know we're at the limit. I don't know why it goes back to there. You can tell over here. Basically, it's 5225. So we're gonna go 4250, or did I say 52? 4225. So we're gonna go to 4250, and we're gonna do a run. For a second, I thought it hung. Waiting for part 2 of the job I'm working on coming. Hoping I don't have to work on Xmas. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't have to work too much either. Bad acidness. No, it's bass acidness. Donnie, I wouldn't say you're first, but you're first. All right, so the first run with 25 megahertz more, we're only at 18,289, which is pretty damn good. So since we started, at stock, basically we're running at 16,200. Now we're about 18,300 just by overclocking, and we haven't done too much of an overclock. Well, looks like that's probably going to be the limit. But basically, from overclocking, we're gaining a huge performance. And you could do this at home with your setups, too. There's no reason that why you could... I see stuff all the time when people are complaining about, oh, overclocking is not good. Come on. What's wrong with free performance, right? Free performance is awesome. And it also gets... it helps that you get to learn your technology, you know? All right, so it looks like 4225 is pretty much the max for this chip. And that's most likely heat dependent, which is cool. I wasn't really expecting too much. I mean, there's 32 cores in there. Even the Xeon is not going to overclock too much. The Xeon probably overclocks better than this. But this is impressive. But come on, you can't expect too much out of the first gen. Or the second gen yet. But it's still awesome. Let's see. I'm going to lap my 8700. Well, the 8700, you better delid that puppy. Let's see. Anyway, corny, really? All right, there, slacker. So 10% better IPC with Zen 3 is pretty much guaranteed. It's a completely new architecture. Yeah, it's definitely good for the AMD side. AMD is definitely back. Are you concerned about DRAM temperature? Is idling at 50C okay? RAM actually technically, I usually just put some type of fan, like just as long as something's hitting on it. The RAM nowadays is really not that bad. So to be honest, 50C is probably fine. Says, let's see, I overclocked the snot out of my stuff. See, now that's what I'm I like that. We don't keep anything stock. Nothing stock. Says, I'm sure, I hope it will be 100% new architecture. It's certainly needed. Also, more than 100% megahertz bump would be great. I'm not sure what that question is about. 10% better with Zen 3 is pretty much guaranteed, which is definitely true. You have to wonder about the fourth generation, how it's going to be. Let me plug this hard drive in, and let's try a couple different things. Actually, before I do that, let's try a little bit more with the memory timing. So we're pretty much maxed out. So 4225 seemed to be the limit. Now, I could probably increase the voltage a little bit. Actually, maybe we should do that. I want to say I was at 1.3 before. Maybe we'll try 1.35. Let's try one more time, actually. We'll try 1.35, and we'll set it to 4225, and then we'll try 4250 again and see how well it does. But I'll change that in the OS. So it looks like probably our max is going to be around 4225 to 4250. I think this should help us a little bit. Let's see, Pyro. I got dicked with Silicon Lottery. On my 1070, the mem won't go jack shit above 425. Well, that's Micron RAM, man. So, what he's talking about is basically, we have, on GPUs, you usually have several different types of memory on there. One of the big ones for the past couple of years now is Micron. You'll have the Elpida. I don't think Elpida's there anymore, but you see them on older ones. Adam, stop dicking around and get the LN2 on there. You have Hynix, who uses SK Hynix in their DIMMs. Thermaltake uses Hynix. I think some of the G-Skill ones, the lower bins are Hynix. And driving me nuts. Bob's your uncle. Yes, you are late, slacker. You missed a lot. Not really. So we're basically at 4225. So we're finding at the limit of our CPU is basically, we're getting to 4225. So we're going to try 4250 right now to see if it's... Now this is R20 stable. So it's going to be a big difference from... Yeah. Make sure this sets. Now if we try R15, we actually might get a little bit higher. So this is just our R20 max. So the highest score we've scored so far in R20 is 18,393. Which is not so bad. And of course, we're validated. So 18,393. So we're going to try 4250. And let's see if maybe we didn't have enough voltage before. So I OC everything I can. You better. 4293 on all 6 scores. 49 3DK. Yeah, some microns are just really bad. Eric E, thanks for the 50. Hey Slacker, I'm new OCer on PCs, but have been messing with my bikes and cars for years. Why not get some extra horses or megahertz? Thanks for the streams. That's exactly my point. Everything that I buy, I don't care if it's a GPU, CPU, RAM, I'll overclock it. That's just what I do. Electric skateboards, motorcycles, my truck, my cars. I don't know. It's kind of an addiction. Not gonna lie. But it is what it is. So, yeah, Elpida died with the last R9 card. Yeah, that is true. I think I said that they don't make them anymore. You'd find them on older cars is kind of what my point was. Well, King Tilly, what's up, Slacker? And happy holidays, Slackers. R20 stable. That's what I said. All right, so basically, let's see if this one's gonna work. So we went from... So far, our max R20 stable seems to be 4225, which is kind of lame, but hey, what do you expect when you have 32 cores of goodness in there, huh? All right, what is this? I overclocked this 39 and I just run stock daily. Don't need the extra horsepower when everything performs so well with it. The human germ. We had an issue. So it looks like it failed. So I've seen this sometimes. I was talking to MSI about it, and they said that there could be some points where I have an issue where I actually hit OCP, which I think I might have hit OCP. Because what happened is it basically, you guys couldn't see from that angle, but it failed, and it popped up 00 on the actual what's it called, on the post screen. So the next thing okay, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that is some type of failsafe. I'm gonna have to talk to them more about that. They were telling me that I might have to desolder a resistor that's around on the board to make sure that I'll basically totally eliminate OCP. So that might be something I have to do tomorrow. So I'm not sure yet. That's one of the reasons why I'm not on LN2 now. Tomorrow, basically, either tomorrow or Sunday, basically we're going to put liquid nitrogen on this puppy. I need to put some liquid electrical tape on it. I basically use a syringe method a lot of the times for my motherboards. I've just gotten sick of using Vaseline. It gets all over. It's just messy. I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm just basically going to keep using this stuff. I used to use this all the time, and I've killed way less boards doing this stuff. So, it's funny. How come overclockers don't use Linux? Because Linux sucks. No, just kidding. No, actually, I know Linux actually pretty well. The thing is there's no actual official utility that is supported underneath Linux. So basically, you know how you have CPU-Z? There's no CPU-Z for Linux to make sure for validation. So that's the reason why you don't see extreme overclockers using it. If there was some type of validation, there would be. So there's the answer to your question. All right, so postcode is what you put on letters. Excuse me. I think Linux take low-level tools to talk to this, even call HackerOS, but in reality, thank you. There were a few reasons that came to mind. I was guess better clocks if I had some records with it. I just don't need it for daily. The human germ, I don't agree. Could always use more horsepower. Shame on you. But anyway, so it looks like, we're gonna run that again to make sure that this happens. But yeah, because there's a lot of people that like to cheat. People actually cheat with computers. Like, seriously. How do you not have a life that you have to cheat with computers? Ridiculous. Still to this day, I can't believe people still cheat. But people want notoriety. They want to be like, oh, I'm like the king slacker. I can beat him, but I just got to do it. I cheat. I don't know. Whatever. And then the art eraser comes off like nothing was ever put on. I know, I'm not a big fan of the art eraser, though. I hate the way, like, I'm always losing skin on my... It's a pain in the ass to put on. But you can use it. I have used it before. I used to use it a lot back in the day. So I'm going to change this to 3.5. Because we were at 3.25 before. So let's just see if maybe that was the issue. Do a quick run. So far, it looks like it's the limit at R20. I don't know. Who's the chief validator? So CPU-Z is the chief validator, basically. HWBot, too. So, problem is, I don't even know who runs HWBot anymore. I used to, but they don't work there anymore. So, nope. So it looks like we have our limit. Like the earlier B-clock timer cheaters. Well, the B-clock timer cheaters, yeah. That's pretty much one of the things that people used to do. What pisses me off about that, though, is that when that was discovered, they decided that, oh, within reason that there was issue, which pissed me off. Well, I guess this might be way along, maybe like 3-4 years ago. Because they ended up deleting a lot of my, like, achievements that I did years and years ago. And they basically deleted them because there was a clock skew. But I don't know. There was a whole big issue there, especially with FutureMark. It's when FutureMark started deleting records and stuff. I was really pissed off at them then. Because basically so many records that I've broken, all of the history of that, they basically deleted. Was not happy about that. All right, we're gonna. So it looks like 4225 is the max on this CPU. Like the earlier B clock times. Yep, they cleared my records because they accused anyone with AMD achievement. I don't think they were necessarily accusing everybody of cheating. Is that it's so hard to prove that you're not cheating, which is the problem, which sucks. But what are you gonna do? Flex Seal works great to seal motherboards and GPUs. Flex Seal does work. It's just basically a rubber compound. How are the temps during R20 runs? Well, pretty good. The problem is I just haven't run it because it keeps stopping during the stream. Just running with water this stream. Yep, this is just water this stream. We're getting clocks so that way when we start doing liquid nitrogen on it, which will either be tomorrow or Sunday. I might need just take a slack day because I need one. But either way, this weekend you will find out on the liquid nitrogen side. But we're definitely doing liquid nitrogen because I got 320 liters of goodness sitting in my garage right now that just needs to... Technically, I actually probably have about 400. Maybe about 370 liters because I have 225 liters or 30 liters that probably have a good 20 liters in it, or 30 liters. So, but anyway, so it looks like a 4225 is going to be the max for the CPU. Oh, the one thing we did want to try, so we might as well try that real quick. So someone was talking about load line calibration. So we're at mode 2 now. Let's try a lower one. So let's try mode 3 versus instead of mode like the other mode. Let's see what happens. We gotta make sure we do this. Make sure we check each one because when we go to liquid nitrogen, you want to make sure you have all your base settings set. You don't want to go down the rabbit hole with liquid nitrogen because when you're benching with liquid nitrogen, it's very difficult. I mean, computers can be difficult to troubleshoot as it is, but to also put liquid nitrogen on them just makes it a whole different level of trying to figure out shit. So, let's see. The real issue is someone created a working version of something like CPU-Z, but the centers doesn't always access the data correctly for all motherboards. It would take a lot to do. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Maybe we should talk to Benchmate and see if he can make a Linux version, because I think that's going to be the validation for a long time from now on. So, if I was going to cheat, I would have posted better records. Isn't that the truth, right? You'd be surprised what some people do. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. I don't cheat, but I got accused of cheating on HWBot because I got a 4.45 on a RYZEN 3600 on the stock cooler for the CPU frequency record, which doesn't put my load on your CPU. Yeah, CPU-Z, most people say, wow, you got 6 gig on RYZEN. Yeah, but there's only like 5% load. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't take it too personally. That's one of the problems with a lot of overclockers. They get very sensitive. I'm not sure why, but it's kind of what it is. But, let's see. So my 35 doer is empty. Well, quit slacking, Apollo. What about an offset? I don't understand. What do you mean offset? Offset what? They changed the rules, then post-date enforced the rules right before the season, and knowing that most people would not even notice. Isn't it inverse on the MSI? Inverse to what? Can you put 320 liters of goodness on the 32 cores of goodness, please? Yes, this weekend, slacker. I agree, making a Linux version, open source. Okay, so the one thing I want to do, so we're going to keep it at the same score as we did before, but we're just going to see some tempage. Because someone was requesting that, which is not a bad thing. So let's see how it scores, just the way it is like this. And then we can see the temps run, but I also want to try to jump it back up to 4250. That is strange. So basically what happened again is basically I got that 00, but I was running 4225. I'm wondering if we're hitting OCP. So this is some of the things. Let's see. If Benchmate needs Linux dev, I'm right here. I think he can actually develop in Linux too. He's a smart dude. I can actually do it too. It's just I don't have the time. I barely have time to give you guys videos. Drives me nuts. I'm back. Where are we at the clock? So 4225. Now seem to have an issue now. So we're at 4225. I basically just set, all I did was change to mode 3, and now it's failing even quicker. So I want to change, I'm going to go to mode 1. and see how this runs. Usually I don't like going by set voltages. I usually like to have some type of probe, but I haven't really looked at this board to see if there's any options of where you can look. Oh, remember, I gotta watch out for the beard. Yeah, I don't think there's any probe areas, so that way I can look, but let's see. Inverse LLC in the BIOS. Lower number is higher. All right. So, yeah, I went up actually to higher. So now it's going to go like this instead of... So I had it on mode 2. Mode 2 was straight across. So if you set 1.3, it'd be 1.3. Now I set it to mode 3, so it should get a little bit of a droop. Now I just set it back to mode... For some reason, with a little bit of droop, it caused issue. Yeah, exactly. 3 equals more droop. So then I'm going up to 1 to see if it works now, because I've been getting this weird issue with 0, 0. I'm not totally sure what it is. And I need to figure out what that is before I start going on liquid nitrogen. All right, we need to make sure we have some temps because somebody wanted to see temps before. All right. Look at that. I have a feeling we're hitting OCP, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. And OCP is basically just setting it, just causing an issue. So I'm wondering that I think I'm going to have to remove a resistor on here. Which is interesting. I didn't think I was going to have that. Yeah, I don't think it's a voltage issue. I think... So what happens is, now that I'm setting more voltage... I'm thinking what's happening is that it's seeing too much current go through. Shit. Forgot to do it. So basically what that means is that OCP is kicking in and shutting it off. So you saw how it just shuts off. So that's 9 times out of 10, that's some type of OCP. It looks like the board's hitting OCP. So I think we're pushing too much current that the board can handle, and it's basically freaking out. So... this is where we start getting into modding and doing some extra stuff that we need to do. So I already know that there's a mod for this board. I'm just going to have to do it at some time. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Either way, I have to do it before I insulate. So let's just double check. And so here I'll test my theory. We'll keep 4225. I'm going to put what it was before. Oops, with the DigiPower. I'm going to just set it down to mode 2. What I want to do, so instead of 1.35, this is how I will know. I'm going to put it at 1.2. Now, when I run, I shouldn't get that power off, or the power shut off, because if you're running at 1.2 at a certain amount of clock, the current level is actually going to be lower because your voltage is lower. So what I'm going to end up having, I think I'm just basically, I'm going to be screwed where I have to mod the board. That's always fun. Luckily, I can do that myself, and I don't need somebody to help me out with that. All right, so don't worry, I'll send her back once you're done with her. All right, drop the voltage back down, maybe too much. I thought you were making Next Friday reference. I like that movie, by the way. Hell, I'll let you know if you would want to collaborate, because you never know. Let's see, the specs say the CPU can run at 154 degrees. I say no way, I've never had CPUs run. 154F is way less than you think it is. Remember, everything's done by C, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. So, can you bridge the resistor? Maybe liquid metal. No, I'm just going to solder it. I don't mess with... Liquid metal just gives you a shitty resistance. That's one of the reasons why I don't even like using it on GPUs. I'd rather just solder the GPUs. I can solder and I can also desolder. So I've never seen it, oddly enough, but I've had other people think I was making reference to it. Isn't mode 2 more power on the MSI board than mode 4? Technically, yes. Oop, hit the right mouse. All right, so let's do a quick run. Before it obviously failed because it seems like we're hitting some type of OCP. OCP stands for overcurrent protection. Basically what happens is the board is protecting itself from too much current. So it's saying, oh, it's bad, and shuts off. There's another thing called OTP, which is over temp protection. And what OTP will do is once you hit a certain temperature, the protection kicks in and shuts off. So I think we're actually hitting that, and the only way that I'm going to get around it is by modding the board. So I have the voltage up at 1.35. So running the voltage at 135 means there's going to be a lot of current being pushed. Now, when I lower the voltage to 1.2, there's going to be a lot less current, so there should be a lot less wattage used, so which in theory shouldn't let it run. I don't think the CPU needs all that much voltage, but we will find out. Look at that. Doesn't shut off. It looks like we have OCP issues. It's fun to see stuff when you learn right away on the stream, huh? Good evening, Slacker. Eskimonster. What's up, Slacker? Haven't seen you in a while. All right. Let's run it again. So, it looks like we're going to have to mod the board. I'm going to have to look up that mod, to be honest. I think what we'll do is we'll keep on going through, and we'll still overclock a little bit as much as possible, because I kind of want to see when we mod, what is the before and after. So what we'll do now is we'll keep on going through these stuff, and basically, would you say Omni Consumer Products? No, OCP is overcurrent protection. I know you're joking, but whatever. Andreas. So, what's up, Slackers? If you're new here, we are benching the TRX 40 Creator by MSI with the new 3970X, the 32-core monster. So far, we're at 4.25, which is pretty good, but it seems like we've hit some current protection, so it looks like we're going to actually have to mod the board. H1 under CBS hits 74. I don't like it. Why are you running a H115i on a 3960, Slacker? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Slackers! Oh, excuse me. So right now, we have decent enough water cooling right now. We're running, what's it called? The CLP 480, the Pacifica, the Thermaltake rad, the big monster rad with a push-pull setup. So basically 8 fans. It does a pretty good job. I mean, you can see right now we're at max 66C on 32-core chip, which is pretty badass. Ooh, look at that, 18314. We might actually get a much better score now. But we are definitely hitting some overcurrent protection, so if we need more voltage, we're not able to set it, so until we do the mod. So let's see what we can get now, and then what I'll do is I'll probably most likely mod the board tomorrow. I gotta figure out, I have bad eyes, so I gotta kind of figure out where it is at the board and kind of set it up. So, maybe I'll do that on stream. Oh, look at that! We beat our old record. So, instead of 18, I think we were at 399. Let's see, let's look at our old score. Oh, 18393. So we actually beat that. Now we're at 18423. So we got to take that screenshot because I was kind of slacking on screenshots. So I want to make sure I get all the screenshots because these are, we're benching with Benchmate. So we're making sure we have validation going. So these are legit scores. So let's put that over there. I feel like I spent more time on the last bench just going through all the screenshots and everything to get validation. Unfortunately, it's part of life when you're a bencher, is validation. No matter how much you hate it, you got to do it because people cheat. I don't know why. People do. All right, so we beat that score. I'm going to run it again because I can, because I want to see what it can do. So let's do another run. Maybe we can beat that 18.4. So it kind of sucks that we're going to have to mod. So we are kind of limited on how much wattage we can push. Merry Christmas, Joe. Bob's your uncle. Merry Christmas, broski. Score was down at 16K at 1.2. Yeah, that's fine. It takes a little bit sometimes. Oh, I think we failed. I don't think it's from heat. I think it's probably not from enough voltage. So I'm gonna increase that voltage a little bit. We got some good runs in. I'm gonna update it to about 1.225 and see what it is. I know we're not gonna be able to push it the clocks a little as much. So let's try a little bit of voltage. So we're gonna have to be pretty sensitive with the amount of voltage we're using, because it seems definitely we're hitting some type of OCP, which is going to require a mod. And I'll definitely mod it, but it's good we catch this now. See, this is one of the reasons why we bench it this way before we put it on liquid nitrogen, because this is an issue now that I'm gonna have to look down on the board. I'm gonna have to go through and I'm gonna have to desolder a resistor now to mod it, because if we're hitting OCP now, we're gonna definitely hit OCP on liquid nitrogen. So let's see. So I want to set that voltage again. So we're at 1.2. Let's try 1.225. That should keep us under the current protection. Let me put this back on. All right, take more questions. Let's see. It's just another $500 in hardware. I've already spent so much on computer stuff this year. Yeah, I know. Trust me, right? Later, Slacker. Gotta go have pizza and watch Home Alone with the kiddos for their first time. Mike, that's pretty cool, man. That's one of my favorite movies. I used to watch that with my mother all the time. We always got a kick out of it. Dude, I literally can. I watch it every year too. So that's cool that you get to have that and share that experience with them. So enjoy it, Slacker, and tell the little slackers that I said Uncle Joe said hi. All right, so I get that over 1K in my open loop. Do you have any interest in seeing how far you can undervolt? Yeah, actually, I think we'll do that next. Once we find that max, I think we're kind of at that limit though with the CPU though. At 1.2 is probably in that area. We'll try a couple times real quick too. So, do you find one motherboard manufacturer has better configurations over others? If you had to take one to a remote island, which would it be? So this is a great question. So, I don't know if some of you guys are new to who I am and what I do. I've literally been sponsored by so many different manufacturers, so I've literally broke records. I used to be a big Gigabyte guy. For years, I was a sponsored Gigabyte bencher. They don't necessarily support too much benching anymore, which is kind of lame. But so I've broken records on Gigabyte. So I've actually gotten some boards from Asus. I've broken records on Asus. I've broken records on EVGA. They're all different. Trying to figure out, and then I've broken records on ASRock. So each one has their own issues. Some are more than others, and you just got to go through some stuff. So, when they don't know it good enough but can't stand that an idea. Wrongins. That's right, Richard, with cheating. I think once I have a loop on the hardware in the house, I'll probably never want to go back. That would be cool. If you could get that lower voltage to be solid, that would be great. Well, yeah, we definitely need it. Will you do the mod live on a stream? Most likely. I mean, it's going to be probably be a boring mod. It's just removing a resistor. Doesn't take that much. You basically take out a solder iron, put it on it, and just pull it off. On some Asus boards, you can turn off OCP, and instead it's just temperature projection. Does your board have the same setting? No, so on this board, there's no type of OCP shut off. I don't think they meant to have it, but I basically, from talking to MSI, I'm basically going to have to pull a resistor off, and it's going to disable OCP altogether, which I could care less. Keep the changes, you filthy animal. Keep the change. That's awesome. Dude, I was watching a video on YouTube the other day about a guy. He basically had a package thief, so he ended up creating like this whole crazy contraption about so that way when a thief steals the package, it just shoots out a glare bomb, but then it records it and then sets it basically records the stream and sends it to the cloud. It's just so amazing. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a big YouTuber. I think Mark Rubin or something like that. I can't think of what it is. He's an awesome. I was dying laughing. The shit was funny as hell. He ended up having like a saying in there where people talking to him being, "Keep the change, you filthy animal." Oh, sadly, both of my parents are dead. Oh, that's a shame, dude. Any chance on stream mods will happen? You have a nice ass camper. Should be doable. Well, we'll see. Well, I mean, it's kind of a lame ass mod to show you guys, so I'm not sure how much I like that idea. All right, so let's try again and see if we got see if we can beat our score. we had a decent score last time, so I'm almost ready to play with another bench, if you know what I'm saying. Play with some R15 next. Something that's not going to have as much current. Yes, Mark Rober. Dude, that shit was hilarious, man. With the 4 cell phones, exactly. Dude, I was dying laughing. I was like, shit, I should come up with something like that. Glare bomb. That shit was funny, dude. I mean, he's got a good channel. He does a bunch of science stuff. And I love that nerdy shit. I basically do the same thing. I didn't realize so many people would love to see that shit. I do a lot of stupid shit, and I love to play with stuff, and I do all sorts of cool, like, I don't know, I build weird projects and stuff. Like, for instance, I built a redneck hot tub. I basically had a fire pit that I ran copper through in a pump, and basically it heats up the hot tub through when you have a fire. That's the type of shit that I do on the daily. All right, so let's see. We got to keep on running. I don't know if it's cash or whatever, but... Oh, that's right, the fart spray. That's right, and I can't believe I forgot that part, because that was probably one of the funniest parts of that video. So, says, too bad Gigabyte doesn't sell the SoC LN2 boards at retail anymore. Well, they haven't sold the LN2 board that's retail in a long time. I actually have a couple Z170... I have a Z97 LN2. I have a Z170 LN2. I have two Z270 LN2 boards. I think I have 4 or 3 of those. I think something like that. But yeah. So that glitter was all over the car. Shit was that shit's awesome. All right, so let's run it again. So we're at 18,154. It looks like cash is caught up. So let's see. Let's see if we can break that 18,400. Hey Slack, put up some of that crazy shit. You know I will. Now that I got some time off, I can. Yes, the Viking hot tub. Isn't that shit crazy? All right, did we break it? Did we break it? Oh, close. 18,388. We need to get to that 400, so we'll run it again. All right. It definitely would be fun to see. So I have a lot of stuff planned for this week. I think we might do a scooter and skateboard video this week just for the hell of it. Also, maybe do probably do a Viper video this week too. I gotta get. Oh, that was a lower score. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff in the works, guys. So we're doing it. Did you watch the Gamers Nexus 3175 versus 3950 comparison today? You mean a 3970X? I watched it last night. I mean, he really didn't do much benching. He just basically showed basically the differences. Oh, look at that. 18,465. I don't know if that beats it. I think we're at 430. Yep, 423. So, looks like I got to do some validation again. So, let's give it up here. Yeah, I saw the video. The one thing that I was kind of disappointed that he didn't say was that if you guys were to look and you wanted that W3175, you could have found it for like $1,600 bucks. If you looked on eBay during that time frame over this past week, there was one for sale that sold for $1,600 bucks. So someone got a 3175 for $1,600 bucks. Plus, you can get those boards for about $1,000 now. So it's not that much different from this actual setup. It's actually easier to get the 3175 than it is to get this chip. But you're gonna have to pay. So it's about even, really, between the two setups. I was hoping that he would go talk about that more, but it doesn't seem like he looked into it as much. But, what are you going to do? Let's see. Yeah, the funny part is quit NASA for YouTube, which is probably better, because, to be honest, doing some type of corporate stuff like that, you can be limited in what you do. So I think him going to YouTube is probably better for himself. What happened there? I notice sometimes that CPU-Z gets stuck at 75 when something is not stable. So I'm wondering if there's a weird voltage that I don't have set. Has a Viking hot tub, wood stove, and a trolling motor to move the water around. That is pretty sweet. Just watch out for that troller motor. You don't want to cut off your foot. Alright, so my CPU Z is failing. Alright, it looks like we're having some stability issues. Let me see if I can do the other one. See, this is the shitty part. Sometimes when you get records and stuff, and all of a sudden, like, Windows wants to behave and or not behave and do a bunch of dumb shit. So let's try this. Let me do the 32 version. See if that helps. It doesn't matter which version we run, as long as we have a version. Yeah, see, it's getting stuck at 75. It means something's not stable. But anyway, so Steve is barely alive right now. That dude, I know. I always tell Steve that he needs to take some slack time, and he never does it. And I mean, he's young. I mean, he's not an old man like myself. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm 40 years old. I'm an old man. He's a young buck, so he can do that. But see, my age, I can't do that shit anymore. It says if Steve loses his voice, will you substitute for him in videos? I'm sure he'd probably get a kick out of that. I'm sure I could do a smashing job. I'd have to bring my Viking axe, though. Alrighty. Seems like chillers and dry ice are both half measures. If you get to the point where I'm going exotic, it's definitely where to go. It is. I've actually done pretty much all types of cooling. Yeah, it looks like this is not having fun. Of course we beat it and we can't open it. What a bunch of crock of crap. Alright, let me see if I can... Let's see, what else could I do? Let me try the older version. Oh, that one seems to work. Maybe I corrupted mine. It should be fine. It looks like I might have actually corrupted CPU-Z. I wonder how I'm going to fix that. Let me see something. Let's do this real quick and get these all running and then get my validation down. So, main board, memory. Yeah, it looks... Oh, damn it. Let's see. I might have to do some on-demand fixing. So it almost looks like CPU-Z is broken. I wonder if that's because I have this one. Now, I think... Let me just check something. So this is the type of stuff that you'll see sometimes. Shit, you're 10 years my senior. Would be a bitch in a voiceover, isn't that the truth? 40, you're baby Joe, 49. Damn, Andreas, you're an old mofo. Mr. Zombie, 51. Escalante, you're 44, jeez. Alright, I ain't old. It's okay, I look like I'm 20. Yeah, right. Alright, so let's go and back to fix this. So let me go to Benchmate. I think there might be... I want to say there's a part in here, apps. For some reason, let's see. I think I might have to override on this. So let me just see. Close that. If, let's see, I think I downloaded it. Benchmarks. Where's Benchmate? Let's see. So on C drive. All right, I'm going to copy it over. It seems like I'm having some issues. Got to say, it's not something I want to be winning at. Hit 40 in a year and a half ago. It's just a number. And to be honest, you're only as old as you feel, and I feel like I'm a 15-year-old kid. So, the RAM speed I'm running, so you guys know, at 4200, we're running CL14, 14, 14. We're going to actually start bringing it down in a little bit. So, man, we got a bunch of youngins there. 21. Nice. To be 21 again would be amazing. All right, so I'm basically redoing Benchmate because it seems like CPU-Z is a little bit corrupted. So we're just gonna let this run. Copy over the existing files. That way we can make sure that it's running properly. Because I noticed I started getting that yesterday, so. This is the type of stuff that you do not want to do on liquid nitrogen. Or if you do, you want to make sure you do it quickly. Yeah, it's not going to overwrite R20, which is fine. I just wanted to upgrade over CPU-Z, is basically. Yeah, it looks like it's all R20. That should be fine. So let's see if that works now. So we'll go back here. Launch. Come on, don't fail, don't fail, don't fail. Still stuck at 75. Now I'm wondering. Let me try one more thing. There's some nice settings that you could do that you mess with CPU-Z. What's up, Shane? Where you going, slacker? Great when you get up to the morning and not knowing what it's going to be first. Tom's the grandpa. Age 70, holy shit, Tom. Looking good, Broski. Man, we got a bunch of old fuckers here. I like it. All right, let me see here. So let's see. It looks like we have to fix part of Benchmate. I might have to ask him about this. Let me see if I can take CPU-Z and delete it. See what happens. All right, can't delete that. So let me delete the 64. Oh, it won't. Oh, it's still running. That's fine. All right, let's see if we can delete this. And then we're going to go back to Benchmate again and try to see if it overwrites it again. So let's do this. Go to Benchmate. The things you got to deal with on an overclocker. Cool stream, nice toys. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it, broski. Yeah, we like to torture our toys. That's what I'm all about. Says, when Intel announced their 10th gen was 50% off, Micro Center dumped the 9th gen chips. A 9960 16 core was 600 and 10 core 9900 with 350. Holy shit. Now, you can't tell me that you'd ever thought that Intel would be like that. Yes, Eric, you're still old. Just kidding, broski. Not bad today, but my depression hasn't been good lately. Well, you need to quit slacking. You can always be happy during my streams. So, get you out of that depression, broski. Don't overclock myself. See, I overclock myself all the time. That's why I break shit all the time. Do you see? You guys see that? That's because I broke my arm. My arm was literally like this. Crooked as hell. It's kind of funny. I actually laughed pretty hard. The funny part is when I went into ER, you hear the what's it called? The X-ray tech go. All of a sudden, I'm like, I was asking my girl, I was like, you think it's gonna be bad? All of a sudden, you hear in the emergency room, holy shit! And I go to my girl and I go, I guess it's bad. I was dying laughing. They enjoyed having the slacker there. That's all I can say. Wherever I go, everybody seems to enjoy my company. Says you get the leg thing too, waking up the night cramps and shit. Oh, I hate that. You gotta make sure you drink a lot of water. When I have, I get leg cramps and weird shit like that if I don't drink it. If I'm not drinking enough water. When I go to Vegas, that's gonna be one of my issues because the humidity is like so low. Vegas is an awesome bench place for liquid nitrogen because you can you could bench for hours and not have any issues or condensation. It's the most amazing thing. It's definitely not the same here in Florida, where we have the crazy high humidity, and it causes a bunch of issues with liquid nitrogen because we have issues with the water in the air. So, it looks like CPU-Z is not going to be listening, which kind of sucks. I wish we can get one. We're going to wait for this one to see if it fails. I think I can probably change one thing though. Yes, your streams are awesome to fight depression. Well, you're in luck because we're most likely going to have a stream either today or Saturday or Sunday. And we're probably going to have a stream maybe on Monday. I don't know if I'm going to stream on Christmas. I might do early morning. Why not? I don't know. We're going to have a lot of fun. Either way, all week. And I'm kind of pissed because the score is valid and I'm not going to be able to take a damn screenshot. Hey, I've been to Florida once. Yes, Florida man is real. Just saying. Imagine the doc saying "holy shit" while sitting next to him. It's like that. There's that one commercial. I forget who it is. It says, "You don't want just okay. You don't want a doctor that's just okay." The commercial is funny. I was dying laughing the other day. I can't remember who it was though. Yeah, so we have no heat issues. Yeah, so this is the times where I'm just gonna end up restarting. Sucks to see, but we'll try to run a little bit. Be thankful you got to keep your hand. I know a girl that lost her hand because she shredded her wrist beyond repair. Yeah, what are you gonna do? My legs like that too. I actually have 4 plates and about 17 screws in my ankle too. That was from a car accident though. LN2 with the climate in Malta may not be a smart move in summer. Well, I do it here. It's pretty typical. We get like 100 with when we have we have humidity that's registered at 100 at the same time, so it's crazy. You'll have the record from the video. Nope, that's not how it works. You have to have a validation, unfortunately. All right, so let's go. So basically, doesn't seem like. Let me try a little bit more voltage. So if you're just joining the stream, we seem to have an issue basically where we're hitting OCP. So we can only set so much voltage and clocks at a time. So I'm basically going to end up having to mod the board tomorrow. I don't know if I'll put that on stream. Maybe. And yes, I was overclocking my car. I pulled a Roman basically. I had my GTR and I tried to see if my GTR could fly. And apparently it couldn't fly. So. But I'm okay. It happens. And yes, I had a GTR too. Way before Roman did. Just saying. Yeah, I was in the cars way before I was into computers. Well, actually I worked in computers, but whatever. So you got a new high score and can't validate. No, that never happens. Yeah, it's even worse when you actually break a world record and you can't do it. It sucks. It says, did you set one of your LN2 world records in Malaysia during the wet season? Not Malaysia, but Taiwan. I've set a bunch of records in Taiwan. It drives you nuts, dude. It says, had a plate in my leg for some time. I got streptococcus, so it had to go out. Almost lost leg. Damn, that sucks, broski. Holy shit. All right, let me see. So let's, I want to do another run. Actually, let's check CPU-Z first, because that shit was... I have a feeling that no matter what I did on CPU-Z, it wasn't going to do shit. Oh, look at that. I uninstalled the one and it uninstalled. And now it's working again. Okay. I think I basically had to turn off Benchmate and reinitialize it, because it's probably doing some funky stuff in there for validation, so that's probably why it didn't work. So, but it's good. I ended up taking out the old version. So let's get to it. See if we can run it. I don't remember. Do you guys remember what that score was? Let's see. Well, we're gonna run this one anyway and see what it does. I think I'm disappointed. Anyways. All right. I made my RX-7 fly when I was younger. It had 4 wheels at least 5 feet off the ground. Nice. Been a few times, but I've learned to keep fighting. You always gotta keep fighting. What I'm talking about, man. Do you think I give up when we have shitty overclocks? No way. We keep pushing. How you gotta live your life too. That's one of the reasons why I probably break myself so much. I have no fear. I get carried away sometimes though. That's kind of what happens. Says, had an R32 GTR back in 92. They had nothing new. Yeah, but the thing is, here they are. You can't really get the GTR. You can only get the newest version. I actually like the R34. Or is it? Yeah, the R34. Because I had an R35. I had them when they first came to the States. Thanks, Michael, for the 465. I really didn't want to know. All right. Let's see if we can break that real quick. Score fast, damned fast. It's amazing how fast R20 is. I mean, you run that on a 9900K and that shit's slow. That's the beauty of having 32 cores, 64 threads. Let's see. Come on, let's beat 465. Come on, 18465. I have a feeling it won't do it now. But hey, what are you gonna do? All right, so 18465. Nope, 241. You gotta run it a couple times. It's kind of weird. A donkey punched my face with his leg yesterday. A donkey punched my face with his leg yesterday. Damn, that comes sucks. Says, come to Canada, 50-year import instead of 25. 15-year import? What's that supposed to mean? I fractured my spine in a mountain bike accident when I was 19. Holy shit. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad you actually are good. Holy fuck. Yeah, the RB26 is a good motor to play with. I've had it in Florida. You'll see GTRs around here. Never the R34. You'll see a lot of R32s and R33s. And I mean, you'll see a lot of, I don't know. Florida's a cool place to live when it comes to cars, too. Oh, we're close. 18405. Still didn't beat the other one because I think we were at, what, 423, I think? Oh, I'm at least glad we found the OCP issue. That's definitely something that we're going to have to go through. So right now we're at basically 4225 on the CPU. We're at 4200 on MEM at CL141414. Ooh! We didn't beat the old score, but we got close. Instead of 18465, so this would be our highest validation right now. So 18,460. Now this is just on water, so let's see. Okay, CPU Z is working, so let's launch another one, and we'll launch another one, and save result. So we're getting there. Hopefully the next time we run, we'll get better. So, in cars, we only have to wait 15 years to import. Oh, okay, now I got you, King Billy. That makes sense. Yeah, I know there's some weird rules about importing stuff. It's kind of funny. I learned a lot. I have a lot of friends that have bought, like, BMWs, even from Germany. Like, there's a difference between lights. Like, they have glass lights there, and we don't have glass lights because of restrictions, stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. All right, so let's see if we can break that. So we got 18460 as a valid. We had 18465, but the bench CPU Z broke, so we weren't able to run it. So we're close. We're getting there. Says 4414 for daily use. Nice. So, definitely at least tomorrow or Sunday, we're going to be doing liquid nitrogen. So far, we're just overclocking on water, seeing what's going on. So far, we've had some really good gains on R20. We went from 16,200 stock to over 18,400 with an overclock. So we're at 4225 on CPU. We're at 1833 on the F clock, and we're at 4200 on the memory. Sometimes it runs slow, and then you got to run it again. So that's not a problem. I feel like I asked you before, but what are you using for cooling? So we're using Thermaltake gears. So basically, we got the Pacific CL480. So basically, I have 4 120 fans on the front and 4 120s on the back, and they're in a push-pull setup. So I have I'm going to say that might be an actually EK. I think I have an EK pump, and we're using the Pacific W6TR40X CPU block. And to be honest, I'm actually pretty impressed with the block. It doesn't seem to get too hot, and it seems to cool the CPU pretty well. I mean, this is a 32-core monster. So, but yeah, so that's what we're using. I'm basically just running tubes down and up. I have a separate power supply that runs that, so I keep that separate completely, so it has nothing to do with this. So, let's see. Let's try to run it again. Try to run a game bench. Well, I don't have any internet on here, so basically this is locked down. This is basically a full bench OS, so it's stripped down to basically go for records. Usually on I'm going to have to do a video on how I prepare my operating systems, so that way you guys can see that too. I know we've talked about it before. I'll have to do something. I just don't know when I'm going to get to it yet, because I actually have time and I get to shoot some videos, so we're going to have a bunch of stuff on videos. So I'm kind of stoked about next week. We're going to do a bunch of videos. not just streams, and we're gonna do a bunch of streams too. So I'm really excited to put this puppy on LN2. So we're gonna end up having to do some 18409. We're gonna put some liquid electrical tape on this board so to protect it, so that way if there's any liquid that gets on, it protects the board. That's what we usually have to do for liquid nitrogen and stuff. So if you guys are new to the stream, hey, we have 182 likes. Come on, slackers, let's get up to 200 likes while I'm here on the stream, will ya? All right, so I think this is probably going to be one of the last runs we run for R20. 18. I'll do one more. So we're going to go over to R15, and I want to start seeing some of the 3D marks too. So we're going to go over and compare and see what we can do. So does the TR4 CPU block fit TRX4? Joe, yes. Well, it's set up for TR4, but it also works on TRX40. So it works basically on both. Oh, come on, we're so close. So I'm gonna see if this works. A lot of the times when you hide the image on the side, you might be able to get a little bit of a score increase. It's kind of like one of those small tweaks. So we're gonna try that real quick. And then I just think we're gonna move on. I think I'll maybe bump the CPU up one more to see if it will work, because we're hitting some OCP issues. If you set too much voltage and too much of a clock, yeah, see, it's not doing it. So I think 460 is what it's going to be for today. So let's start moving on. Let's go to R15. Get a new bench on. We're going to launch. So let's play with R15 a little bit. Change the benches, change it up a little bit, and then we'll move on to another one. How far can you push a 3600? I have a 3700. I haven't even touched the 3600. It's not as fun as touching a 32 core. I need to probably get a 3600X. I think on the next gen, when we go to the 4th gen, I'll probably go with lower ones. Nice. So the first run we did, we're at 8084 already. So I'm going to go back, and so the other stream, we ended up doing a bunch of benches. We did a bunch of benches on stock scores. So let's look to see what our highest score was. So when we originally benched, our first bench was at 7100. So that's basically stock. We ran it a couple times, so I want to find the maximum we got. So I think about 7200 was our max. So already, just from our clocks, we're at 8084. And just like R20, when we're running this a bunch, we were basically getting, it was going higher and higher. So we're almost 1,000 points higher, which is pretty damn good. So let's do another run. I'm gonna run. Oh shit. Well, since for some reason I always hit single core. For some reason it drives me nuts. So I'm gonna run that and just let it run just to show what it is. But yeah. So usually it's gonna take a while though. Damn it. I hate when I do that. I seem to always hit single core. I always want to hit it for some reason. Drives me nuts. At least those TR4 only need a new motherboard to upgrade, not the cooling system too. Yeah, it's funny how AMD has become like the new Intel, because most people used to complain about that, and now because they give you a new motherboard, AMD is kind of doing what Intel used to do, which is pretty interesting. I think it's kind of funny where fanboys go back and forth, but says you can kill Explorer for a little bit more sometimes. Yes, you can. There's no point. I'd rather, instead of me opening it up and closing it and then going through, it kind of gets to be a pain in the ass. I think it's better for this. So, R20 uses AVX, but R15 doesn't. Most likely, I think that's true. I think R20 uses it, but there's always a thumb down. Everybody, it's just how it is. Come on, slackers. Let's see if we can hit up 200 likes. No problem for the single core. It just takes a while. One thumb down. You can't make everybody happy. It's just how it is, broski. Says Christian Iverson, computers will get faster. They always do. Records fall every day. So, I guess what we could do is, anybody look up on HWBot? I want to see what, let's compare my skills compared to others, right? So let's do this real quick. I'm gonna, while that single core is still running, because it's taking forever, I'm gonna jump down here. And we're going to go to HWBot. And one of the things that I do over at HWBot is I want to check to see what other people are doing. So let's see if there's any 3970s in there. I don't think so. So we're going to go to benchmarks. We're going to go to processor. Come on. So we're going to go to R20. So this is pretty much where you can tell to see how good of a bencher you are versus others. So we're going to go to Cinebench R20. And we're going to go to 32 cores. So we're going to see what the rankings are, right? So for R20, remember our score, we were scoring what, 18,460? Let's see. So it looks like, what's his name, kicking my butt. And that's probably because he's pushing memory harder. So we just want to see how we did. So this is probably a better score since, let's see what he's doing. So he's got higher memory. Oh, the IF clock is where he's really scoring at. Oh, he's also at about 4 or 5. So I don't think our cooling's going to get us to 4 or 5. I don't know why he put in 4 or 2. Kind of BS there, dude. I hate when they do that. So it looks like the record that we're going to try to go for tomorrow is at 5.5, which isn't bad. Let's see. It looks like it's on the Asus Rogue. Let's kind of see what it's going on. So at 24,049, he's running at 5.5. And then look at that, 1906 on. Interesting. I wonder if he had any cold issues. So let's go over to R15 so we know. So we have some type of idea what we're going to have to go into. So let's see. Our score 1860. So we have another dude, Golf Town. He's running 18. So we beat him. So that means we're in a good ballpark for what we're benching, right? So let's look over here. So let's see. So he's at 18,251. So we beat him. It looks like we have a better memory clock than he does. That's probably what it. He's actually at 4.3. No, he's at 4.2. So that's close. Yeah, it also looks like that this result here might not actually be valid. Oh no, it is. He's got R20. He's just at 4.5. So he's got really good cooling. That's why he's doing so well. So let's see. What is this talking about? I've never used HWBot. Is that a good place to check on certain CPU? Yes, it is. It's basically the official place where you're going to do it. I don't really post a lot of my results on there that much anymore. I used to all the time. I don't really bench for it because they have a whole point system and stuff like that. I don't really bench for points. I basically bench for the love of benching because that's what I like to do. So if we look on here, let's we're going to go over to R15. Let's see how our R15 stacks up. So we got to get out of R20. So where's R15? So R15's right here. We're going to look at that. So let's look at 32 core. We'll go for rankings. So the world record right now is at 10,802. So we're at 8084. So where is 8084? So that's basically about 13th place. And that's with a 5500 megahertz on ThreadRipper 2990. So that goes to show you how close, how good this ThreadRipper is on air. It's kicking the shit out of the old ThreadRipper. So let's go back. I'm going to go back and let's bench a little bit more. Why doesn't Intel 80 look like a feminine product? All right, so let's run this again. So it looks like our CPU single core score was 199. The single core slow is going to be pretty slow. Obviously, we could push that higher for a single core, but that's going to be what it is for now because we have 32 cores, right? Single core is what it is. It's a single core. So if you could probably take the single core performance and push it a lot farther. So it looks like we're at 8117. So that's obviously improving. We're going to have to run it a couple times. From what I noticed, it's very similar to how the other one was, basically where you keep running it and you get a higher score. So 8133, so which is not bad. So you're basically 8133 is, so there's someone else that basically has a 7959, so we're beating him by almost 200 points. So 8185 seems to be our highest. I'm sure we could actually probably get another multi out of this one. Because remember, when we're going for bench stable and stuff, different benches will be, will have a different type of stability. HW bot benchmate submissions are a different section. Benjamin, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. These submissions are basically valid and not in a different area. So, how's life goes? What do you have to do? I still love my 299 RX no matter how good the 3930 is. I'll upgrade when the 3990 comes out. There you go, Bob's your uncle. Hey, man, you get whatever you want. All I'm saying is it's pretty damn cool. The 2600K is 180 CB? Really? That's crazy. So I'm just going to take a screenshot because I haven't been taking any. So 8155. Oh, I'll run it a couple times. Let's see if we can beat 8155. 8178. Here, I'll do a screenshot here. Because I want to have a screenshot. So when we compare the W3175, we have something to compare it to, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the clocks a little bit. Just because we could only run 4225 on R20 does not mean that for R15 we're only going to run 4225. We'll probably be able to run almost 4.3. So whenever you're trying to test bench stability, you always want to have... Oh shit, did I get the 75 thing again? Ooh, I wonder if it's because I had that other application open. I wonder if it's conflicting. Here, let's close this. Getting failures! Damn it! Whoa, what happened there? Nah, it looks like it's failing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna reboot. And we'll rerun. Alright, have a good one, sucker. Got a dip. Time to go home. Alright, King Tilly. I'll check you tomorrow or Sunday. We're gonna do some killer LN2 runs. I'm excited. Let's see, Roman got a 10,000 score in R15 with 232 water cooled epic server. That's pretty cool. I think we're gonna beat 10K though. Because I mean 10,082 is a record. So dude, that's gonna be pretty crazy. I'm excited to see how this runs. I'm really glad that we actually found that issue with OCP because we're most likely going to run into OCP issues. If we didn't find that issue now, finding that on liquid nitrogen would have been a pain in the ass. It says something must be wrong here. My 2600 almost scores the same on single core. That's normal, man. Single core is just right now. I'm only running it at 42. I could probably push this up to 4.8, but that's pretty much single core performance is not going to be that much difference. Chintzy, check you later, broski. Welcome for the stream. Yeah, I don't think it's actually. I think CPU Z is probably going to be fine right now. So. Yeah, see, it's fine. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna run R15 again. Let's see what we can get for our highest R15. Dude, how do you get the camera to move? I have a slider that's basically programmed to go back and forth. It was a relatively cheap slider too. I did a lot of searching to try to figure out what I wanted to do that for a long time, so it's pretty cool. What do the VRM Tims get up to? They're not really pushed too hard, to be honest. 8081, run it again. All right, Joe, back. I grabbed a burrito with more cheese. Now you're making me hungry, broski. You're such a tease, Byro. You're always getting food, man. You suck. All right, so we're going to keep on running a little bit more. So we want to try to find our highest R15. So we got the CPU at 5225. We also have the memory at, what's that, 8115? No, we were higher than that. The memory's at 4200 at CL 141414, which I think we're going to get actually way lower. All right, 8143. So let's take a screenshot of 8143, because this is pretty close. We'll run another one. Remember, you got to do 3. We'll do one over here. Yeah, the slider looks awesome. I like it. I like the whole effect of it moving back and forth. It's pretty cool. Yeah, some people, I don't know, some people don't like it. I think it just gives it a different dynamic. It's not just the same boring camera angle. And it's easy to set up for somebody like me where I can't necessarily manage the camera and when I'm doing benching and then also talking to you guys at the same time. So I think it's fun. I think it's pretty cool. Oh shit! And I didn't run to one more. Let's make this one official. Mainboard, memory, and save. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna run it again. We're gonna run it a couple times actually. I want to see if we can. I just wanted something for a base, kind of like what our base overclocking score is. So, and then what we'll do is we'll end up pushing a little bit more. All right. So we hit over 200 likes, guys. All right. That's what I like to see. I always like to hit around 200. All right. It seems like we lost a bunch of guys, but hey, it's quality over quantity right now. If you know what I'm saying. Oh, 81, 82. So. Damn it, looks like I gotta go back to it already. I know, it does give you almost like a depth perception. That's pretty much kind of like what I liked about it. Is that it kind of gives us such a different dynamic that, and nobody else is doing it. So I guarantee you a bunch of people are gonna steal it from my streams now. But they can't steal the slacker attitude, if you know what I'm saying. Let's see, so we have 3, 2, okay. All right, so 81, 82. So that's, what is that? That's pretty much top 14 in the world. And that's just running it on air. You guys haven't seen anything yet. Oh, 81, 82. Close this. I want to actually jump the multi up. We'll let it run again, and then we'll try to see what the hell's going on. All right, time to feast on a giant ass burrito. Yeah, you suck. I like seeing what you're doing more than your face. But I like your face. You have a good face. I know. I have a very pretty face. Thank you. Damn it, I'm too drunk to see your screen killer. Time to head out and cook some food. Good luck, Joe. Get some good food, broski. Oh, 81.98. Dude, it keeps going up. All right, so these are some good runs we got going. So we're almost at that 8,200. I guarantee you we could probably push it almost to 84. R15 SE on my 2,700. I'll get back with the result in an hour. Okay, Shane. Keep that head up, broski. Can you believe I still don't have a working mother? Yeah, dude, you got some Asus. To be honest, that's what happens with some of these manufacturers, man. I have noticed it with Asus too, is some boards just kill it. So, which X58 classified did you use? What are you talking about? Which X58 classified? I've had a couple of those X58 classifieds. I think I used there's a 3 SLI and then a 4 SLI. It's been so long since I used that setup, man. It's kind of crazy. Any GPU tweaks to increase score? There's, of course, GPU tweaks, but it depends on which one you're doing. Adam! I'm always chicken clocking, slacker. Mount that camera so it does a full sweep around your room like some toy trade doing the walls. I try. What's up, Jester? Yeah, so we're just benching. We're at 42. So we found the limit on R20 was basically we can only do for about 42.25. And then we started having some issues. So we moved on from R20, but we were scoring pretty well. I think we were at 18,600 or something around that. Here, I'll just show you kind of the highest score we did. So we ended up finding out that we actually are kind of limited. So 18,460 was our high. It seems that the board has some OCP issues, so we're going to end up having to mod the board, which is cool. Patent the moving stream idea. Get it protected, right? Hardware Numbers should come back and break your record. He's the only one that can do it. Yeah, Hardware Numbers is a good dude. I see him all the time, but... Let's see. So, yeah. I got to save this result. This is our new high score. We're getting almost 2,000 points in both R15 and R20, just overclocking. So, if anybody ever tells you that overclocking's worthless or not for it, they're full of shit, because obviously you get free performance. And free performance is for me, if you know what I'm saying. So I have a 5700 XT that I haven't even touched that's sitting in my in the closet right now, which is I need to probably break out, but I got a lot of stuff going on. Do not tweet that pic of that burrito, you bastard. All right. Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a bunch of versions. All right. So it seems like we're kind of not getting more on that score anymore. So let's see. What was that? 8198 is our record. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the CPU clocks a little bit. Just trying to run it a couple times. VRM seems good. Hi, Joe. Built my first computer in 1980. CX80 kit. Now building 3900X. That's awesome, dude. I've played with some of those old-ass machines, man. That's pretty damn cool. Jordan! You suck! Just kidding. What's up, Slacker? How you doing, buddy? Just playing around here, getting ready for some LN2 tomorrow. Oh, you suck, Pyro. Did you see Gamer Next to Steve's last RYZEN stream? Everyone was asking 10 for EVGA Associates. Yeah, I don't think I don't know. I'm not sure EVGA will ever do one, but you never know. Yeah, it is a nice build. You can't go wrong with that build anymore. Nice 3900X. Oh, look at that, 8212. So it looks like we were able to push a little bit more out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump up a little bit, try to see if we can get a little bit more CPU out of it. We're also going to have to start playing with some mem clocks a little bit more. Why are we still on water, darling? Because the reason why we're on water, we're basically comparing to what the Xeon W3175 will do on water too. Because it's not all about liquid nitrogen, my brother. You need to check it out and see what kind of baby clocks we can get too. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, so that's the high score for now. I'm going to try to push up the CPU just a tiny bit. Seems like this thing gets too damn hot. I didn't know 1700 amount of voltage on Earth would get it past 3.8. Yeah, that old 1700, the old RYZEN was kind of shit, to be honest. There you done building a 3970X while listening to the stream. 32 gig of RAM, higher denser modules, and the QVR are currently not available there. That's nice. That sounds like a nice machine. I have 2 vapor chills. Is any chance I put both of them on a 39? I get Sub-Zero. Probably. Are you talking about the old vapor chills? All right, here we go. Sorry, Music South. If you're not gonna be nice, then you're not gonna be here at all, broski. Now, the funny part is that I'm all about the war between AMD and Intel, but the sensitivity on it, we're not going to call each other names. So, kind of a little over this fanboy crap. Again, I'm not an AMD or Intel fanboy. I'm all about the performance, bro. All right, so even better part about it is that it's mom and pop place. Nice. Yeah, those are good. I'm not even sure, to be honest, Jordan, if you have to cover it or not, because with R20, it's kind of pointless. You can't even cover the screen, so I think as long as Benchmate's there, could be good. I don't know. I'm not really trying to go for, like, official HWBot version. I don't even post up on it anymore, so I barely do. If I did, I'd have a shit ton more points, but I don't bench for points. I bench because I love the bench. All right, so we're going to jump up to 4250. We couldn't run 4250 on the other one, so let's see if we can run 4250 on R15. Most likely we can. Ooh, look at that increase. That's a nice increase. Just from, I think we're going to be able to get a little bit more CPU on this one. R20 is a pretty tough bench. Let's see. Nori, what's up? Salutations, bestie and fellow Florida man. I'm still in the hunt for a 10980XE. Well, I have one, but you can't have it. Happy holidays to you and your family too, broski. Yeah. All right, so we increased our score from just going from 5225 to 5250, which is a nice little increase, which is pretty much close to 13th place. Well, I guess we're only on water too, so. I remember the XT 286, 386. Oh, I had a bunch of those. It's all about the gigabeards. Isn't that the truth? Be back soon. Need a trip to rip a GPU out of the computer. Go for it, broski. Joe likes to bench his arms and systems. Dudes. Oh, yeah. Dude, for 1700X, you should keep it under 60C and push the high voltages. Yep. That is true. My 2600 can't run 5 gig max. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, you got a bad... Some of the 2600s, that's a tough chip to bench, to be honest. Glad you said that, pal. Merry Christmas from Australia, and have you ever tried a 9900K? Of course, if you looked at my one screen, I have the 9900KS that was doing about 7.3 gigahertz. Actually, I have a nice one that Intel sent me. The 9900KS is an awesome platform, dude. I love it. Let's see. Heck yeah, someone that actually streams during normal Australian hours. We love our Aussie brothers. Yeah, I'm not really interested in that other stuff, so. Yeah, and old Vapor Chills had them on the Pentium back in the day. Oh, dude, I think I know. Are you talking about the face change? Vapor Chills? What was your R15 single on R49? Was gonna say I'd go for single malt, blue label. 486, Pyrotechnic. Dude, I had a 480, I think my first one was a 286 or a 386. I kind of forget. I actually had a Mac down back then too. Kind of funny. Not like I would buy a Mac now. Some of the laptops are nice, but they're overpriced. I'm not big on the Mac OS, to be honest. I am a Microsoft guy. Let's see. So, we're at 8259, which is smoking. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher than 8259. Because we're improving. Oh, so how long have we been going now? So we've been going about 3 hours now, which is a pretty good time. MacDrew421, what's up, Slacker? Good to have you here. All right, so I think we're slower there, 8259. Let's see if we can get another good run in there. I think I'll only do a couple more runs of this. I want to kind of get into the other ones. What does the slacking mean anyway? Well, slacking, it's kind of like, it means the opposite. So when you're really slacking, you're really doing a lot more. You're really not slacking. Slacking is just a term of endearment. So I love my slacker people, if you know what I'm saying. All right, so I think I'm gonna end up, oh, god damn it, I hate when I do that. We're gonna quit this real quick. We're gonna run it again. I'm gonna do a couple more runs, and then we're gonna go over to, actually, I'm gonna bump up the clocks one more time. Let's see how much we can get. What's up, Buried One? How you doing, broski? Disappointed I'm not gonna see you at CES. What's up with that? The problem with his Mac. Oh, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Macs. Not at all. Am I running the Cinebench performance bias? Run. What do you mean by performance bias? Don't mind me, I'm tired, man. You gotta figure, I've been working since the middle of the morning, or beginning of the morning, and going on 12 hours now? Oh, yeah. Doesn't look like we're gonna get any more than that. Damn it. That means we're gonna have to, ooh, let's try it one more time. I think I'm gonna bump it up a little bit. I'm from Zimbabwe. You confused me really bad. Sorry, broski. Ooh, 8236. What were we on? Oh, yep. Close, but no cigar. We're getting there. I'm getting hungry. That bastard kind of want a burrito. Priority setting, I think it's on real time. I might try turn it on high, to be honest. I'm going to be slacking this hell as soon as I start benching the 27. Nice, broski. Yeah, see, let's try to change, let's change it to high. I noticed on R20, if I went high versus real time, want me to link you to try it? Yeah, go for it, Jordan. Send me that. So how reliable is single score versus benchmark? They say the game uses single core. Well, it's a good benchmark. It tells you what's going to be compared to others, but doesn't necessarily mean it's... I mean, the way the scoring mechanism, I don't think it's the best single score to go by. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to get that high. So I might have to push the... Yeah, so let's try to go a little bit more megahertz. Try to get some... Because we're at 8250 now. Or 4250 now. Let's go to 42... I don't know why it keeps coming up like that. Let's do 4275. Make sure it goes. All right, 4275. So let's see if we can get it to run. That was a little bit weird. Oh yeah, we forgot to change it back to real time. Put on real time and run. All right, I think Jordan was gonna send us something. Oh, my buddy just got back. He was all the way in North Carolina. Let's see. All right, so 8275. We're still not... What was the high? Was it 8293? Oh, no, we actually did beat it. So, the hell am I saying? So, it looks like we're able to run a little bit more, which is good. I like it. I like it a lot. Just, Jordan, just send it over Facebook if you want. Bring back the turbo button. I do miss the turbo button. Why the hell do we not have a turbo button anymore? It's like the old OC button. All right, we're getting there. I feel like it takes forever to get this validation. I wish they had a simpler validation. Would be nice if we just only had the Geekbench stuff and you didn't have to do anything else. Or, sorry, not Geekbench, the Benchmate. Make sure it's valid. So 8275 is our highest so far. Let's see if we can run it again. A lot of faith in Apple. Yeah, I don't know. Apple's just... I think Apple's gone downhill for the past several years. So... Come on, let's get it high. Let's get 8300. All right. Yeah, Jordan, I'll have to check it out later. I appreciate it, though. Early turbo buttons lowered. All right. Oh, 8316. Didn't even notice. So it's interesting how R20 only lets us run the one. You can't wait till you need CVUZ and Benchmate tab is all you need. Yeah, for real. I'm like over the having to open this up. We should also tell him to make a Linux version too. Single core was around 200, Escamonster. I'm not running it because it takes too damn long. It doesn't matter about performance. The performance mode's fine. You'd be surprised for what benches, and I don't want to change it too much. Julius, what's up, broski? Oh. All right, so we're improving. We're at 42.75 when we could only run 42.25 for R20. So I say we run one more time and then we bump it up another 25 megahertz. Yeah, I'm not really worried about the shadows. Sometimes in R15, it's hit or miss if it adds a little bit. So it's not really that big of a tweak, but I get you, bro. It definitely can help sometimes, but I'm just trying to run it so that way I don't want to. This isn't to go all crazy. This is to kind of give like an average performance where stuff's not too much changed. Because I'll go through some more stuff, and when I really go for records, I'll go down and I'll spend time on efficiency for a while. So it's not trying to, but I do appreciate the tip. I do know. It says can't join Buried One. Thanks for the $5, broski. Can't join CS because the idiots decided not to pay me for my work I had done for the past months for them, but I hope to shine on Computex with you. You better be at Computex, broski. Computex is probably the most fun. Probably the most exhausting, too. So let's see if we can get 4.3 for R15. We couldn't get close before, but what are you going to do? All right, so we're at 4.3. I'm going to close that, and let's see if we can get 4.3 running. Was it 16? Did we beat it? All right, we did beat it. Getting there. It's always nice to keep beating your score. Set an alarm to wake at 4 a.m. to catch the stream, broski, but I woke up late. It's all good, broski. Because we're going to be benching tomorrow. And the RAM. So how is RAMs on these TRX 40? RAM is actually quite amazing. If you guys notice here, we're at 4200 CL14. I'm going to start bringing that down lower. That was just kind of where I stopped, and I wanted to get some good benchmarks on. So what I've noticed, one of the big things with TRX 40 that's even so much better is that you don't get that IF bullshit. So like if you start raising over IF on X570, you start getting a performance decrease. On TRX 40, it's the opposite. You actually start getting a performance increase, which is a nice find, which is pretty awesome. So let's just save this score and make sure it's good. And we're going to run it again. Time to run again. Finishes so quick. I know, it's kind of one of those things that's awesome. I'm partially wearing that burrito. You suck because I want a burrito. I am starving. Uh-oh. I think it failed. Ooh, it looks like Sigma came out with a 2470 for the Sony, the E-mount. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm in the camera. So, looks like we failed. So it looks like we're pretty much at a limit around between 4.2 and 4.3 for the heavy 100% load on the benches. Yeah, I'm running my bind as you know what dims, but I'm also not pushing them as much as I need to. So that shit's not valid. Yeah, I'm excited to see this chip on LN2. So if you guys are just joining us, we found some issues with OCP on this board. We're gonna actually have to mod the board by literally pulling off a resistor. So what happened to the tater tots meme? I don't know, but I could totally use some tater tots right freaking now. So I think we're gonna end that part for R15. Like, I don't know, I don't feel like running the CL11. How about we run some 3D marks? Because those are the fun ones. I'm going to push it up to 4.3 because they're not as bad. So I figure 4.3 should run pretty good. So let's jump it up to 43 right away. Now we're locked down to about 1.25 volts. And the reason why I'm there is because I don't want to hit the OCP. So we're just gonna basically go right to 4.3, and we're gonna try. Let's see what the old stock runs were. Ooh. Let's see some of the runs I think Time Spy Extreme. So our stock, so we're almost at 14,800 for Time Spy Extreme, and then 14,700, or no, what is it? 90, basically 98 for Time Spy Custom. So let's see what we can do at 4.3. I'm expecting we get a nice increase on 3D Mark. One of the reasons why is because we actually pushed memory high. Does TR4 use ECRAM? No. I think it can, but it doesn't. Do you think we'll see any more DDR clock increase? Probably. Every gen we basically do it. Broski, have you checked out the Blackmagic Atom Mini HDMI? I love my Sony camera, to be honest. I've seen some of the Blackmagic stuff, but to be honest, I'm totally with my Sony, and I just love it. So, does it seem like ThreadRipper doesn't cold bug as bad? Actually, it's just as bad as regular Ryzen, from what I've heard. It's I've heard a lot of people have major cold issues that they can only do like minus 140. So let's do Time Spy. We're gonna do a CPU run on Time Spy. See how how much it changes. Our last score on Time Spy was about, I think, 8,900. I want to say. So let's see how good we can do it. Oh, I could totally eat a motherboard packaging right now. I'm starving. But it's good to see that we're seeing some decent overclocks, though. I mean, from R20 and R15, we went up 2,000 points just from overclocking. So it goes to show you that the newer AMD stuff is really starting to overclock way better than its old counterparts, which is awesome. Check it out if you have not. I love it. It shows up in the webcam to OBS when connected to Huh. Yeah, basically the TR3000 is terrible for CBB. For real. Regular RYZEN okay, just more VSOC until it stops cold blank. Yeah, but that depends on the chip, Jordan. I've found that some like the SoC and then some don't, which always damn chip dependent, you know? Wow. That's a hell of an increase. So basically, is that right? So let's see. So my high Time Spy was 9,800. So we went from 9,800 to 12,300 just by a small overclock. That's a giant. That's awesome. I'm guessing the card to bench is your reference. Well, this is just a 1070. We're not really benching 3D, so we're just benching 2D. So I wanted to basically kind of get a, what we're going to do is we're going to compare to the W3170 overclocked. We're not going to just do like overclocking like how the normal people do. We're going to do it on water, and then we're going to do it on liquid nitrogen. So that's a nice increase, man. That's like 3,000 points just by overclocking. All right, where, oh yeah. I forgot the CPU Z is in here. We're gonna we're gonna record this. Bearded Slacker, I think ThreadRipper chips are the top bin chips. Well, top bin chiplets, but says even with 1.5 SoC on my 3970, it's still CB at 140 minus 50 on fabric. Yeah, it's all about fabric, really. What would I like to see from Zen 3? Another performance increase. What'd you say, Richard? O'Shea. I'm super psyched about the 3900 series. I can't wait for LN2, but water cooling is amazing too. Connect 4 cameras and use it to control the switching. Since it's showing up as a webcam in OBS, you'll never have to fiddle with OBS for anything. Control everything from your hardware. That's pretty dope. Send me a link on Facebook, Tullius. I know, 3K boost is insane. I'm really interested because I want to start doing some. I have that KP that's really ready, just ready to bench. So I want to try to try Time Spy or something. I want to see how it scores compared. So, but yeah. So let me do this real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. Oop. Right. So let's score that. Now I'm going to do another run. I just want to make sure, like, if we 12.3 is the run. And to see. So, what's going on, broskies? I'm glad you're here. Like and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff over the next several days, man. We're going to be benching. I have 350 liters of liquid nitrogen ready to just do some crazy shit. I know the session tomorrow is probably going to be a learning session to figure out, like, what infinity fabric we can use, a bunch of different stuff. So, it's going to be crazy. Richard O'Shea, Richard O'Shea, Richard O'Shea. Bad things going to happen. After Joe broke his KP for the first time and then had Tin fix it. Actually, I just got a new one on that one. Tin didn't fix shit. Tin's a slacker. Don't let him fool you. Google B-Die. Yeah, this is B-Die right now. A number of LN2 records on HBUT have 19 megahertz IF clocks. I know, I noticed that too. If you look at some of the Asus ones, they have 1900 on the Zenith. So I'm curious what they're doing on that. It could just be chip. And it's just basically what Keep says is basically there's only a few, not all of them. So I just want to see, are we lower than we were before? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to TimeSpy Extreme, so that way we can get a CPU run. I want to see how big if we can run 4.3 here. And then I'm going to try to 4.4 and see what it does. What I miss about Infinity Fabric not needing to be clocked high. It hurts before. So on the 3900, 3950, or the 3700X or any lower, anytime you broke the IF 1-to-1 ratio, when you started pushing the memory clock higher, you started to lose performance. Like, your perfect performance was basically the same, you know what I'm saying? Now, on these, it doesn't do the same thing. Basically, if you overclock your memory to 4 gig, 4100, you see a performance scale go up. So it's a major difference compared to X570, which is awesome. I was really not expecting that. I was expecting to see, like, everything on the IF clock, and it's not, which is pretty damn amazing to me. Pretty awesome. Says my chip will full pat 1900, but memory definitely suffers. Yeah, that's the problem. I've heard sometimes the IF clock will go down, but memory goes down too. So, any guesses how fast we can push it on LN2? I have no idea. I know it's going to be probably some troubleshooting trying to figure it out tomorrow. So we'll see. Just got here. What's the current all-core top speed? So depending on the bench, we've hit. We were running TimeSpy CPU at 4.3. We ran R15 at 4.3, and then we also ran R20 at 4.2. We were pushing memory quite a bit though. The memory is at 4200 CL14, 1414. Now, I haven't tried lower. That was kind of what I was pushing yesterday, and we're just trying different things to see how much it's pushing. So I benched all my 3970 at 1.1 to see how it compared to 1900 and 3800. Most found 4200 memory best and F clock at whatever was highest. Yes, 4200. So memory scaling. I still have to test like 4K, like 1211. I have a feeling of very tight CLs will actually go a very long way. But I haven't been able to do that, not yet. I know, right? Tullius, isn't it crazy? Like, I wasn't even thinking that that would be anything. I thought it was going to be the same. So it's just crazy that to show that to be honest, the other thing is too, Tullius, those other boards, so the other RYZEN systems dual channel. This is quad channel. So quad channel likes better memory. Like, if you look at the Intel platforms, it was always the dual platform always got higher clocks than the quad platform, and it's the opposite for AMD. Like, how crazy is that? All right, so we're at 16,550. I'm not sure what the score was. I kind of forgot already. So let's look to see what it is. So we got a huge jump of over that 3,000 points. And now, so about 14.8. Wow, we almost gained another about 2,000 points. Even in TimeSpy Extreme. That's pretty badass. So let me take some screens. So we're getting some huge performance just for overclocking. It's pretty awesome. Fender. So even with memory, just because you buy a 3800 kit doesn't mean it's going to be like you might even find a 3200 kit that can bench higher. Don't always rely on the type of memory you think. So even when I was binning these are from all different bins. You can pretty much find whatever. What's the mem topology? I'm not sure. I have to ask, to be honest, on this. AMD made all the right moves. Is it Daisy? I'm not sure on this one. I'd have to ask. I'm not sure on if it is Daisy. Oop. I'm gonna do one more run of these, and then we're gonna move on to like fire strike tests. I know we have to turn off some cores, but that might be fun. Actually, I'm gonna probably jump it up to 4.4 to see if these run. Usually the 3D marks you can run a little bit higher than normal stuff. No, it doesn't force you on the 1.1. That's basically what I was talking about. DDR, remember, overclocking on DDR3 is going to be a lot different than DDR4. That's not E-die, but B-die. It will stay 1-to-1. Anything more than that, you'll have to set manually. Yeah, basically. All right, so let's see. Let's keep that. We're going to run it one more time, see if we can beat 16550. Let's see. Times by extreme. Run. Run a Prime 95. No. One of his latest videos. What? Pyro negative. What's pyro? What are we talking about? E-die versus B-die? I'm confused now. What are you running right now? So I'm running at 4.3 on the pros, on the CPU. We're running 4200 on MEM still at CL141414. We're running the Infinity Fabric at 1833. I'm thinking that with a little bit of cold that I'll probably be able to run 1900 on the Infinity Fabric, but it might need a little bit of LN2 goodness. But only up to a point. Tomorrow we're going to mess around and figure out what are the voltages and what are the temps I'll be able to run, what frequencies. So right now it's just kind of testing on water, kind of what we can get best on water. So tomorrow is going to be the practice session with LN2, and then, or sorry, tomorrow or Sunday, depending on where you are. Most likely I'll be over there. Do you think Silicon Lottery will ever branch out to RAM sticks? Probably not. I don't think. It depends on how the RAM prices stay. I know I've talked to the guy of Silicon Lottery, good dude. We used to do some deals with CPUs a bunch of times. So if you have a good loop, 4450 to 1.4. Yeah, the problem, the reason why I can't run that much higher, I don't know if I told you that, but one of the issues I have right now is basically that I can't go through. What is that? You know I'm on the stream right now. So basically, one of the things is I have OCP issues where I basically can't go over a certain amount of voltage where it just fails. So what is that?
Merry Kwanzaa.
Merry Kwanzaa? Do I open this up on stream?
Sure.
All right, so
it's appropriate.
I don't know if it is appropriate, but
it's kind of badass.
It's my buddy Doug, so kind of badass. Am I gonna break it by doing this?
I don't know. I haven't actually laid eyes on it myself.
Oh, so this is one of these things? I don't even know what to do here. I don't know, it looks cool. I don't know what it is, though. Definitely appropriate. What the hell? How cool is that?
Odin.
Odin for Odin! Woo! I love it. That's awesome. Did you get that for me?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
You didn't get it for me.
Well, that's true. So we're gonna have to clear up some room. I think, dude, Odin just needs to be right here. Come on, too much. You gotta have Odin right there. Put the knife. See, now he's always staring and looking down. Awesome, broski. Appreciate it. I'm gonna be done in probably in a little bit.
Yeah.
Try to figure out some stuff. We're just benching, checking out the new 32 core. Let's see, what do we got here? So did we get any improvement? I don't remember what the other score is. I'm using Thermal Grizzly right now, basically Cryonaut. Joe keeps tripping on OCP like hell. Yeah, it's one of the biggest issues I have is I keep hitting OCP. So I'm basically going to have to modify it. So yeah, we actually got higher. So I'm going to keep this. Let's see. Yeah, so one of the issues is you got to love a TechOdin statue. I mean, how awesome is that? That's how my friends know me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love TechOdin. Alright. I'm gonna try to do like a suicide run. That way, probably, and well, we're already at about 3.5 hours, so maybe kind of kill for the stream, so that way I can recoup, and then we can run the stream maybe tomorrow or Sunday. Just not sure yet. Let's see. I kind of want to just do a suicide run. I'm just hoping that I just don't hit the OCP still. What a pain in the ass. Here, you know what? We'll do, we'll do 44. Oop. Not 4400. That would be bad. Let's see if it works. You gotta see. You love it. See, that's why you gotta love Doug. Better if I tried only 2 DIMMs instead. So yes, your RAM. So if you notice, I had the thermal take. I had 8 modules. This is quad channel, so you want to bench 4 modules in quad channel. Anything that's X570 is dual channel, so you want to bench with 2 RAM modules instead. All right, so we're gonna try to do a run at 4.4. We're gonna do a suicide run. We're gonna do yeah. That didn't work. We're done. All right. All right, slackers. That was fun. All right, so let me switch the view back over, and we're just gonna talk a little bit. All right, slackers, so we had some fun. We're pretty much done for today, though. You can obviously see that there's obviously some good overclocking potential for the 3970X. I mean, it's an awesome system. We obviously found some issues where we're kind of limited on our major clocks through hitting OCP, where it's just shutting off. So what I'm going to probably end up doing is we'll end up modding it and probably doing some liquid electrical tape on there. I don't know if I'm going to put that on. I don't know if you guys want me to stream that. I don't know. Who knows? But I don't know. We'll think about it. I don't know. Maybe if you guys hit me up on Twitter and say, yes, we want to see some mods, or because it's going to be a boring mod, but we also want to see the how do we apply liquid electrical tape on a motherboard properly. I mean, if you want to see that, reach out on me on Twitter. Comment on the video below telling me you want me to do that. And either today or Sunday, or tomorrow or Sunday, we're going to go and we're going to do liquid nitrogen on this beast. So I am totally stoked. I am looking forward to it. Ugh, it just looks so damn good. So, but does it get her? I don't know what he's talking about. Yes, we're done, Ski. So guys, slackers, I'm out. I'm tired. Be prepared. We're going to do a lot more cool shit. We're going to have some videos this week. We're going to be doing all sorts of crazy shit. I got a lot of liquid nitrogen. So, slackers, remember, like, subscribe, comment if you want to see modding and this. I will do it if you want to, but it got to have a bunch of comments on it. Also on Twitter. Come on, guys. Come on, slackers. All right, guys. I love you guys. I'm glad you guys joined me. Stay tuned for a lot of cool shit. Like and subscribe. I'll check you slackers later. Slacker out.